All right, so welcome, folks. We've got quarterfinal number 2 of Titans League, and we've got ACCM here in the red playing as the Shoe, and we've got Sitaux in the blue playing as the Dravidians. Both these players have had fantastic seasons. I'm probably going to say that with every intro at this point, because if you make it to the quarterfinals, you're pretty damn good at the game. But for Sitaux, he was the group winner, so this is the first time we're seeing him in the playoffs because he went 5-0 in sets. He had 11 out of 15 wins in the group stage. So Sitaux has had the better season. He had to bye into the quarterfinals for that reason. ACCM, he had to go into the round of 12 where he beat Winchester 3-1, but it was so clear in his games just how well prepared he was. I loved his strategy. I loved his adaptations, and I also loved the Shoe here on this map. The way that ACCM played it was fast castle crossbowman, and he went full land control to control the middle. And I think the opponent, Winchester, there had gone man-at-arms and water control, but wasn't able to lock down the middle with enough skirmishers. Was just simply too late to castle age. But the thing is, Sitaux's going to have that information. Sorry, let me just fix the flags. Sitaux's going to have that information, guys, and I think that's really important. If Sitaux wanted to prepare for ACCM today, he has 15 games from group stage and the 4 games from the previous best of 5. Which is just insane. You can get to see the civ preferences. You can get to see the drafts. All these details end up playing a role. So, not sure if he expected what ACCM was going to go for here, but obviously he got to see the Shoe and how ACCM prioritized the map. My fishing ships will be coming out. Now, I feel like if I were Sitaux, I would not want to make the same mistakes that Winchester made. And I would not want to play too heavy into the land early feudal age. I might just think about it and say, I have the better fishing eco. You are probably going to play towards crossbowmen. I have faster firing skirms. So I think there's an argument to maybe just make it to castle age yourself. Kind of go for a late feudal and just go skirms and mangonels in the middle. Weird situation on this gen, though, is the hill doesn't extend over the whole map. So you've got lots of elevation. This area here for Sitaux is actually flat ground. Now that seems like it could be valuable because the hill isn't beyond his wood line. But I'm not so sure. I think you actually prefer the hill there so you can walk around there and place your siege workshop. Imagine if ACCM placed a siege workshop here, protects his wood lines, makes it difficult for Sitaux to advance. So that hill is definitely going to be a factor. 4 fishing ships for Sitaux. Very even starts. Nothing too crazy here. ACCM scouting the shoreline with the water buffalo. But he might honestly just be looking for additional water buffalo or rhinos. But look at the food underneath the TC. He's got this elephant, which he just brought in. There's then this rhino, which is close. And then there is this rhino. If ACCM goes over to take this rhino, that confirms fast castle for me. You don't need to have 3 of them unless you're going fast castle. So that should give us an idea. For Sitaux, you could make similar arguments. He's got one underneath the town center. He's also got the elephant here, which is... Wait, what the... Huh? What happened? This elephant's on 1 HP. Is Sitaux trying to push the elephant in towards it? Oh my god, so something happened. He must have shot it a bunch of times. There's no way it just spawns on 1 HP. And he's trying to house push it in towards the town center. Because if he ever shoots it again, it's going to do that. And he just gives up on it and says, well, screw that. And I mean, that's funny. Sorry I don't have words more eloquent than that. But that's just freaking funny, dude. Wow. Sorry, I was kind of talking about my early game stuff. We assume that their builds are going to be perfect. Yeah, I don't think we're going to put Sitaux in the community tournament, but that is a tin can, or that is a sand league moment right there from Sitaux. And luckily, he's got lots of fishing ships. He does have the second dock now, which will lead to his fish being even more efficient. We have the second dock from ACCM as well. But we are not seeing a barracks from either player. So both players thinking that it's not necessarily something they want to go for. We saw that all the time in the early seasons. It's fun to watch meta develop over time, right? It's fun for me anyways, to look at it and break it down, and really could make a separate video for each map and say, this is why people thought this strategy would work the first week or the second week. This is what they ended up finding. Typically, it's like 1 or 2 players that set that tone. And players will say, ooh, that player broke the meta a little bit. And then they'll try it themselves. And then 3 weeks later, things have changed. So again, Sitaux brings in the elephant from really far away. And he still has the rhino here. And actually, ACCM knew about that elephant, and ACCM knows about the rhino. And he's like, yo, I'm going to take that. Thank you very much. This one still standing here. ACCM's pretty damn good at the game, so I think... Oh, elephant's not cooperating, but... Oh, that's so annoying. Type a 1 in chat if sometimes the elephants and boars just don't respond to you. I'd be typing a 1 as well, and I don't really understand the circumstances as to why. They're just like 20% of the time, they just behave differently. I'm sure there's some reason, but it's been the case on DE more than I remember in the past. At least the last 2 years. But sometimes it feels like if you double back too quickly, it's a problem, and that's essentially it. And, okay, we have a pause. That's a really awkward time for a pause. I don't think ACCM's pausing there. I think that's a Sitaux pause. And that's obviously not something that's intentional. He doesn't know what's happening. Actually, technically, can't see this. But, okay, it was an ACCM pause. I was wrong. And there, like, he hits it again. He's expecting it to follow, and it doesn't follow. And the freaking rhino says no. So the animals are not cooperating with both players. That's actually a pretty big deal, though. He's counting on that food. That is 400 food. And now he is going to walk home with the water buffalo, but that is definitely a factor here. Both players are definitely going for some type of fast castle. Sitaux's got the 12 fishing ships. ACCM's got the 11. It seems to me like we are seeing fast castle with 2 archers from the Sitaux and from ACCM. Luckily, the Shu do get a little bit of food income when they chop wood. There's a lot of wood income right now. Again, with the water buffaloes and the fishing ships, I'm sure ACCM can still click up. But there's the archer range. There's the blacksmith. There's the archer range. There's the blacksmith. I'm not in love with that archer range location for Sitaux. But there is a weird aspect that I just thought of. Sometimes when the siege comes, your archer range gets pushed down, and then your production gets cut. I wonder if that is an intentional move from Sitaux, knowing there will be siege, that he wants the archery range behind so he doesn't lose it. It's kind of interesting. Only difference in the builds is that ACCM will be getting loom before he clicks up, which makes sense to me. Oh, actually, Sitaux already has loom, so never mind. 11 fishing ships. Could see the fishing lines upgrade for both players. It's weird to get the fishing lines upgrade for more efficient fishing, though, when like the fish position themselves is naturally working against that efficiency already. You're probably just happy with the fishing ship numbers, and once your wood invested into the archers. There goes the first archer. So, Dravidians get the wood bonus. There's the fishing lines upgrade for ACCM. So that additional wood helps them afford the ranges and the archers. They also have the cheaper siege, but the Shu get the food income from the wood. They get the cheaper archer range upgrades, and they also get the faster siege. So both players have really nice bonuses here. And Sitaux doesn't actually know where ACCM is at the moment. He's looking all the way over here. Remember, it's a nomad start, and they will find each other in the middle there. ACCM's not going to complain about that at all. That's just because ACCM gets a little fortunate. And nice find. Yeah, nice micro, nice find. Now, they could spare both civilizations a lot of heartache if they just decided to do a 1v1 out here. And then whoever wins, the opponent has to submit to their rule. But no, they're just going to... They have too much pride for that. And now it's become a 2v2. And get ready. This will get crazy. We'll have siege. Wouldn't surprise me to see thumb ring from ACCM at some point. And ACCM just taking the early engagements here. Well played. And the siege workshop for Sitaux is going up in the middle of the map. I find the siege workshop position is so critical. And ACCM will see it. Now he'll want his own siege workshop position right there in the middle as well, probably. Needs the wood for it, and he'll start to place it. His upgrades are coming in. He'll place it a little bit more up there. Man, this is going to be so micro-intensive. Yeah, this is going to be insane. There are a couple Hulks out there, so that will increase the need for multitasking. Obviously, clearing water would mean that your opponent has to invest their wood into farms then for food eco, which is something players want to avoid. Sitaux still got 3 water buffalo underneath the TC. ACCM still got like 4 or 5 there, so they won't need farms for a really long time. ACCM just marches forward towards Sitau's economy and sees the villagers are weak there, but Sitaux ends up saving them. Sitaux will chase, but kind of annoying for Sitaux. This is not where you want your army to go right now. You want your army to be marching forward. Confidence from ACCM. We still have the Hawks around. It was just 1 fishing ship kill for Sitaux. ACCM could actually snipe some fishing ships with his crossbows if he wants. But yeah, this little pit, you need to stay out of if you're both players. You do not want to be fighting at a disadvantage in the Mangonel War. And Sitaux, nice attack rounds. Remember, still has these crossbows to deal with. And there's actually slightly higher elevation over here at the moment. And, oh, what is that I see? We got a war chariot now. Attack round misses for Sitaux. Attack round hits for ACCM. Again, that is the pit of death right there. You do not want to be anywhere close to that area. It's just so much more difficult to get value from your units. And the war chariot is here. War chariot needs to switch modes, actually. It's in the direct fire mode, which is very weird. The whole unit is weird. But anyways, there's actually a mode which is much stronger there, which wasn't utilized. Look how fast the mangonels are for ACCM. These things are Ferraris. They zoom around and makes it so much more difficult for Sitaux. And Sitau's under a lot of pressure here. Look how fast he's able to just wheel around. What is it, 15% faster? Sorry, 10% faster. It feels like that's 15. Nice start here for ACCM, rather. But there's the second TC for Sitaux. Sitaux, it's so tough for him to go anywhere near this siege workshop. But he might need to if he wants some control right now. That's a nice hit. That's beautiful micro. All while still needing to deal with all of this. Obviously, you have the food eco, but even just relocating the fishing ships and spreading them out to different fish, adding fish traps, that's so much focus. So much micro right now. Nice repairs from ACCM. Still 1 TC from ACCM. The siege, the war chariot, the crossbows are all around over there. And Sitaux is still sitting right next to the siege workshop, which is really awkward, but he actually manages it. Can he do it again? Imagine if he can get it again. He sees the flag now, so he should be keeping his eyes closed on this. But he did also lose fishing ships to the crossbows. That's going to be the issue for him. And there, that's what should happen. ACCM hops out. And so ACCM maintaining the fishing ship lead. I think it was actually the crossbows that killed most of the fishing ships. And the Mangonel is going to somehow survive. It was close. ACCM actually chooses to town center the hill. Now, that seems risky in any other scenario, but the hill is king. And that's just another way to lock down this position, so I really like it. Also, I like the upgrades we're seeing on water there for ACCM. He knows that Sitaux will send in some pressure. He's upgrading his Hawks. And more big shots from ACCM with the siege. And it's so much more difficult for Sitaux to land the shots because of the movement speed, right? It adds to the ability to micro. And they essentially trade 1 for 1 there. But Town Center will complete on the hill for ACCM. The other aspect... Oh, man. 6 shot from Sitaux. The other aspect to remember... This is why you pick the shoe. So on a water map, you have a water crossbow map, you have so much on wood, right? And so getting food income from just chopping all those trees has such a nice effect. So having the fishing ship lead and also having 20 on wood all the time, that's so nice. I think we're arriving at a stage where Sitaux is going to need farms for food eco. But I think he might just want to try and build another siege workshop somewhere and idle his town centers here. He needs more wood for more military, man. Again, it's a very weird pit there. But essentially, Sitaux has to enter the pit if he wants to pressure that town center. And, oh man, the micro continues. I'm still continuously impressed with Sitau's engagements, considering the circumstances. But ACCM, they'll start to win water now. The Hawks have moved in this way. There's no resistance on the water. Sitaux will lose control there. If ACCM can stay patient on the hill, keep producing mangonels, I think this scales very nicely for his economy. Sitaux does have the 2 TCs. He does still have the cheap siege here. But again, with the hill, ACCM lands a shot. And he just patiently backs up there, repairing the mangonel before bringing in the fresh mangonel. ACCM has done 70% of the job here. He just has to hold. But Sitau's shots are pretty sick, man. Like, that's 2 kills without the hill involved. And another one. Like, what? How is he doing this? So impressive. Look at the attack rounds. Okay, there he landed a nice shot and loses his mangonel. Important moment in the game, Sitaux. He hasn't found any stone. It's not thinking about that at all. But there are villagers on stone somewhere for ACCM. I almost don't have time to look at it, but it's right there. There's very little stone left on this map. Or not left on the map, but there's very little stone on the map in general. So getting some stone for an eventual castle to lock down the middle can change games, or even guard towers. A civ that was banned was Koreans. Koreans were played a lot in the group stage. And their ability to tower here is very strong. Crossbows for ACCM will counterattack. He knows all he needs is the siege to defend. He is still defending with the siege, and I don't think Sitaux is noticing this. Sitaux just can't keep up with this because he has to focus so much there. He does have the crossbows down here too, so maybe that was part of what he was looking at, but he finally realizes, but now he's 20 villagers behind, and ACCM just brutalizing the wood line. And we know what ACCM is going to do as well. ACCM is going to get away with this army because that's just what you expect from him. He'll get in, he'll sneak, he'll get out. That's so well played. Beautiful job. Yeah, he didn't need his crossbows at home anymore. There was no benefit. He had the town center and the siege. Many people would keep their crossbows there and they wouldn't get that big of a lead, but well played to ACCM. He runs away. Here he made a war chariot against the crossbows, which did nothing. So maybe he needs his own army over there. But still has to defend the hill, and he still has the hill. Yeah, the hill is just critical. I actually feel a bit bad for Sitaux. This comes down to what I said earlier about you wanting that hill next to your base. It's actually helpful to have this little hill if you lock it down. And for Sitaux, he did have the hill here, but this little pit has made it so awkward to actually push. He would have needed this position. If he would have locked down this position where the TC is, it's a completely different game. Perfect start for ACCM. And I think this is why so many of the viewers here picked him as the favorite. He can just lock in and get serious when it counts. And while Sitaux deserves a lot of credit for the group stage, at this point, group stage is almost out of their minds, right? Does not matter to them. It's who can show up on the day, who can bring the highest level of intensity. Sitau's last chance to survive. He lands a nice shot. He lands another nice shot. That's very good. I think ACCM's a little distracted with from these crossbows. But the siege workshop is still going down. It's still likely to go down. And I don't think this counter raid will do enough. It's 3 town centers for ACCM. And ACCM will have more crossbowmen with ballistics as well. Big shot, maybe. No, ACCM sees it. And he gets close to the mangonel. Oh, that's unfortunate for Sitaux. He can't get the shot off. He really needed that. And I don't know, man. He needs counter damage. The crossbows here are still doing what they can. But Stranded is pretty snowbally once you lose the hill here. And he's lost it now. Sitaux will lose these crossbows soon. And I think ACCM is going to take the first game. I don't know if it's the right play, but here I would buy a castle. You have 1,400 golds. It's hard to get stone on this map. And if you protect the middle, you win the game. Why not? Just buy a castle. I don't think it's going to get to that stage where it's needed. Sitaux might be playing on a little bit longer because it's game 1. He just wants to get those nerves out of his system, but... yeah, okay. Sitau's like, all right, let's just dance a little bit before we end the game. ACCM's like, I could do that. The resources are ridiculous for ACCM. And yeah, I'd just buy a castle, man. Buy a castle, drop it in the mid. I think right there, Sitaux is kind of reminding ACCM, I might be dead, but this is the micro that I have. Sitaux tried to kind of flex right back at him and say, I can do it too, and now he regrets it. Now he's like, oh crap. Oh crap. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Seriously, he should not have been doing that. He should have, like, he still hasn't cleared these crossbows. Now Sitaux is advanced up the hill. Is this getting dangerous all of a sudden? No way, right? I mean, one more shot here from Sitaux. The things start to get interesting again. Loses one. Again, the movement speed on the mangonels is so freaking nice just to help with the micro. I love the Shu. I think Shu might be top 5 on this map for me. In terms of the approach, if you think crossbows and siege in the middle is the way to play this, why would you not want to pick Shu here? You don't need the water bonuses as much. Amazing value from Sitaux. I thought he was so dead. These crossbowmen did so much to distract. But he is 50 villagers behind. And he did buy the castle. He did buy the castle. But you don't want to accept a castle over here and hold up a second. Hold up a second. I mean, Sitaux's micro, when at a disadvantage in position the entire game, has been so impressive. Okay. ACCM holds on. There's still a chance. All comes down to the siege and the crossbows, right? And there's more crossbows for Sitaux, and there's more siege for Sitaux. ACCM will never want to accept a castle that is anywhere but on the hill, but maybe you have to place it to protect your town center now. There's the castle. Another mangonel from ACCM. Sitaux micros. ACCM micros, though. And, oh, big shots. Big shots. Lands the shots on the crossbows. And he also lands the shot on the mangonel. Andy lands the shots on the crossbows again. Andy micros again. Andy will complete the castle. And honestly, I think he got a little nervous there. This castle is not even the reason why he wins the game. He holds on. I think if he plays on without building the castle there, he wins this fight now, and then he places the ideal castle. Gets the job done. For me, ACCM all started off with the aggression. The initial archers, I think he got the first 2 archer kills, and then he got the first 2 mangonel kills, and then he did such a nice job sniping the fishing ships. He actually used crossbows to snipe the fishing ships initially, but that was part of it, and I also think part of it was the food income that you get from chopping the trees with these builds. 8,600 food collected. It's tough now to look at it because there's 23 farms, so obviously he's got more farms than the opponent, but let's just go back to, like, let's go back to this stage of the game, right? They both have the same amount of fishing ships pretty much. Let's look and see. Okay, so that's slight. Let's keep moving. Maybe I'm just super, super wrong on this. I was expecting to show you there's a lot more. So here there's a little bit more food collected. But at that stage, Sitaux had already lost fishing ships. So I don't know. It felt very nice, though. It felt like the eco was very smooth for ACCM. I think that bonus adds up. I also think having the cheaper upgrades plays a role. And like we said, the faster movement speed with the mangonels is big, too. You guys want to see the elephant? Okay, they haven't started the next game. I can show you the elephant real quick. I missed it. I'm pretty sure I had it on screen because I saw Mazmora mention something. What did happen with that elephant? It didn't end up being a game changer or anything. So it was underneath his town center at some point? Oh, so it's super early in the game? Oh my god. He missed one volley and then it just created the scenario he was in. And then he honestly would have been hilarious if the gate trick would have worked, but yeah, that's what happened with the elephant. Here we are, game number 2. And we've got Sitaux playing as the Wu. We have ACCM playing as the Lithuanians. And you've got to be careful against this guy, man. When it's a tournament, he doesn't mess around. And he might think about taking that. You only get one Rhino. on this map, and I think Sitaux saw the scout and was like, wait a second, I don't want him to have any chance of taking that. So he moves forward. Now, on the other side, Sitau's doing the same thing, as Sitaux will steal the water buffalo. But this is the type of map that I feel is typically pretty perfect for Sitaux, because there's a lot of multitasking. There was a lot of multitasking in the previous map, but it was ever so slightly more structured. Basically, you want to take the hill in front of your opponent's base, and you want to like take their fish, and that's basically it in the previous map. Technically, there are different angles to attack, but here there's a lot more scouting, a lot more adaptability, such as do you take this wood line or this wood line? Where are your golds and stones? The golds are not directly underneath your TC. Transitioning into the berries. All these things are factors. Where the fish even are, all that stuff is a lot more difficult to manage. And so I think that's why Sitaux has gone for the Wu. And he probably wants to go for Man-at-Arms. Now, I like the Lithuanians. I was a little surprised we didn't see Lithuanians more throughout the season. But people are catching on now. I think Mr. Yo did it on high tides. The fact that you can go to wood early means you can always get the dock up faster than most civs. And that alone is also a really nice, a really nice bonus. And on a lot of these maps, what do people do to follow up from the Man-at-Arms? They go archers. And Lithuanians have the faster skirms. So that alone, I think, makes these civs very good. They also have very strong knights, very strong monks. So I personally like both picks, but Lithuanians look very strong. And I'm actually remembering that epic game between Mr. Yo and Lucho. One of the greatest comebacks that you will see in Tournament Age of Empires, guys. Yo had one chance. He was 25 vills behind. He needed to win that set. Otherwise, he was relegated, right? He literally had one comeback condition in that game, and it was a forward castle in the perfect position, and he went for it. And, yeah, he ends up winning the game. And in the interview afterwards, he told me that he just doesn't think the Wu late game is that strong compared to Lithuanians. So I just bring that up because if the game does go late, that's at least what Mr. Yo felt. He thinks that the Wu don't have as good a tech tree, and I would agree. I think they're very good with some tiny details, but yeah, Villager got a little stuck there on the wood line for ACCM. But that should be better now. Sorry, just taking in the sights, trying to get a feel for their build. It was pointed out to me that I say crazy a lot, and ever since I've been trying to say crazy less. But someone then pointed out I say sometimes when I'm thinking. I don't think we're going to add a T90 emote. But yeah, now I'm getting self-conscious about the here, you know? James, thanks for the 5 gifted. Thank you, Captain Davey. Thank you, Sonny. Welcome back. Lorhe, sorry I missed you. Fanto and Leaf Walker, welcome in. Thank you for the new subs. Support's been epic, guys. I do think that if Sitaux can get into, like, Pikeman, Jean Swordsman, Lithuanians might have a really awkward time dealing with that combination. I think people are kind of sleeping on the Jean Swordsman still. It's a perfect unit to raid on a map like this. People like to play tower defense and lots of skirmishers. If Sitaux can have a lead to Castle Age, that can be strong. And again, you then back up. You just go double barracks, mix in pikes as well. It's not like the Lithuanian player can play knights against that. T90, what does ACCM stand for? I actually never asked him that. I don't even know if it stands for anything. But if I had to guess, I would say absolutely... completely crazy man. Yeah, man. I don't know. I never asked him. Chaos mode? Oh, I like that. Absolutely crazy chaos mode. Yeah, that's perfect for ACCM. I don't think it stands for a cute cuddly man, but I'll have to ask. I guess it depends on who you ask, right? His wife might agree with the cute cuddly man comment. Scouting needs to happen here for ACCM right now. It's like, you know the Civ matchup, you know what's going to be coming, but you need to know the direction it's going to hit you from. And he sees the barracks. He doesn't actually see the militia because Sitaux is hiding it and ejecting them out the backside. That's a nice detail there. So ACCM keeps looking. He's waiting for the flag, but that's not happening. The units are going this way. And Sitau's scouting. He knows about the wood line. But look at the little outpost there from ACCM as well. ACCM understands there could easily be a tower here. So he's got a dock in this position, an outpost in this position, and then walls on the gold. So he will not allow those men-at-arms to have any chances. And adds the walls on the wood line. Sitaux is hoping that this would be exposed, but ACCM is just too prepared for that. ACCM opens with the archery range. Yeah, this is the toughest point. Right now is when this is at its most complicated against the Wu. But if you can get onto immediate archers, it's not too bad. We'll usually see a spearman added here. Now, Sitau's so good, I would expect that he expects the spear and his scout will never take any hits. It's actually a really big deal. I think he is waiting for it right now. Scout will probably have to peel away, but it's a little bit more difficult because it's the Lithuanian spear. Should never take hits from this. And oh, do you see that? That was so good. He waited for the last possible second, immediately attacked with the man-at-arms. He completely baited him there. I know he didn't get the kill, and it's just one spearman, but that's just some real confidence from Sitaux. Love to see that. Also love the walls from Sitaux behind this. ACCM now trying to harass with his scout. And he'll see the archery range. One thing ACCM didn't really scout was where the fishing ships are. He's just expecting some pressure, and he's waiting with Hawks at home, but he never found that dock from Sitaux. Sitaux knows everything. And oh man, ACCM underneath the town center, I think trying to lame. But he loses a lot of scout HP. Man-at-arms are still going to get great value long-term here. They regenerate. So if you can just consistently harass and every time you take damage, run away, it could be really annoying for ACCM. Right now, you're probably able to keep these woodlines protected, but once you chop a bit more, once you have more villagers that are going to need to go to other resources, it gets complicated. Spearman goes down for ACCM. Sitaux will use the scout on the archer, seeing it's weak. He kills the archer as well. That's so good. And he also has the skirmisher there for the taking, too. I think he's a little distracted at the moment. I think he was looking at his Hawk on water. But I like what Sitau's been able to do. It's weird. You know it's going to be man-at-arms. You do everything you can to defend from the man-at-arms, but man-at-arms can still always get value if a player is patient. I like the tower from Sitaux to protect the wood line. It doesn't protect the gold, but the walls might. And his Hawk will flee down here, where he's going for another dock, more Hawks. So we'll have two docks. It's just one for ACCM, but ACCM is on double archer range, making skirms and getting fletching now. Nice response so far from Sitaux. He does get housed, but the Wu houses do build faster, so it shouldn't be quite as bad. Wouldn't hate to see him plan on going to stone for another tower, but he's still keeping a very close eye on what ACCM's up to. Yeah, now ACCM might have an opportunity to get the kill. Look at the micro, though. He sacrifices this one to save the others. Again, two man-at-arms could still kill a villager. And here the Hawks are engaging. Sitaux will hold. Wow, he was able to fall all the way back. Lured ACCM in, but ACCM backs away too. T90, can you shout out my friend Eli? He is a lover of your channel and wants to be just like you. Smiley face. Well, Eli, advice, don't be just like me. You'll get made fun of a lot on the internet. But hi, Elo. Shout out to Eli. Viewers, shout out to Eli. Say hello to Eli. Wow, Sitau's done a fantastic job. He's on one archer range, and he is essentially matching the production of two archer ranges here. That's not easy to do. And I kind of thought that he was going to brace himself for the pressure and that he was going to play towards Castle Age, but no, he's really going for a lot of military here. There he snipes an archer. Here ACCM drops a tower for the woodline, but ACCM doesn't have defense for the rest of his eco. And Sitaux, he's got the army here to deal with. Both players with armies at the opponent's base, but I think for so far, Sitaux is okay because this tower back here should protect the woodline. Obviously, losing the berries will hurt the food eco, but he does have 9 fishing ships. He's fully surrounding this dock. I don't think ACCM was expecting Sitaux to play so heavy onto water here. He was expecting the man-at-arms, but 10 fishing ships now is crazy. Archers and skirmishers will find the first eco kill, though. And honestly, Sitaux didn't do that much harassment here after all. There's going to be 16 skirmishers for ACCM. But Sitaux is on the way to Castle Age. This is exactly the scenario we talked about. Lithuanians have the skirms, which can counter the ranged unit follow-up. But now, if Sitaux plays 2 barracks and plays into Jean Swordsman are perfect against skirm. ACCM would need knights. ACCM needs Castle Age for that. He does actually have the scout in the north, but ACCM loses the scout to an immediate reaction from Sitaux. Like, how does Sitaux notice these things so quickly, man? He's so fast. Amazing recovery after the first game. The man-at-arms have regened here with the skirmishers as well. Not a bad fight at all. He's just waiting. And once he's in Castle Age and on Jean Swordsman, these Jean Swordsmen could kill every single skirmisher. I think you need a market if you're ACCM. He's building it, but like, you kind of needed this market a bit earlier here. Even still, he was never going to compete with this Castle Age time. Sitaux's even on the berries on the outside for food. I haven't seen that before. ACCM's like, this is way too quiet, man. He has all this military. He wants to use it, but he can't find value with it, and he knows the military is likely to go down at some point soon. He relocates to the other side of the wood line. He comes in with the Hawks here to kill on water, which won't be enough. Sitaux micros back the weak Hawk. He has the perfect amount of Hawks waiting. Still microing the skirms on this side. And now it's Jean Swordsman time. 2 minutes until ACCM is in Castle Age. The only military he will have is Skirmisher. And not only is Skirmisher notoriously bad against infantry, it's notoriously bad against high pierce armor infantry, which is exactly what the Jean Swordsman is. Now, you've got a time window you have to take advantage of here if you're Sitaux, because the eco for ACCM is really solid, and if ACCM can get knights out, the knights destroy the Jean Swordsman. So here they come. The Jean Swordsmen are only strong in one situation. They're strong against arrow fire. They're not really that good in any other circumstance, and that's going to be the weakness for Sitaux. And that's why he should dive underneath the TC. That's the right play. I love that. And I don't think ACCM was expecting this either. House walls behind are needed in both areas. He drops the house walls. There's a hole there, though. So one of the units gets through back to the stone. Over here, the Jean Swordsman will kill every single skirmisher. And this is just going to be so inefficient for ACCM's eco. He's got a garrison town center. He lost 1 villager to that Jean Swordsman. More Jean Swordsmen can loop around. I actually think the key right now for Sitaux is to win water as well. He's upgraded his ships. I think he's forgotten about this. If he patrols his Navian, he probably wins water. And then he has the second town center, so he has the better eco there. And then you can go for monks for the knights. But there's a lot to focus on. I kind of feel like he overcommitted against the skirms. I was expecting more of the Jean Swordsman to go forward. It's tough, though, because if you don't kill the skirms can be useful against your monks. But yeah, only killed 1 villager with the Jean Swordsman attack, and now ACCM can make knights. ACCM's knights will clear that. And Sitaux goes just passing on the water. That was a weird situation there. I expected to look down here and have them encounter each other, but Sitaux just clicked past. He's going for the fish, and ACCM sees that, and now ACCM is going for his fish, which could end up being very nice, to be honest. We've got 8 fishing ships here, largely unprotected. Sitaux's not producing again. I don't know, man. Like, I kind of like what ACCM is doing at the moment. He's found more eco damage. He's got the knights moving forward. The monk is there for Sitaux, though. The conversion doesn't happen, but that's a bit of a warning sign there if you're ACCM on the monks. It's all about the transitions, right? And when you're thinking transitions, you're thinking your eco. Still no additional town center for ACCM. We've got the 3rd TC going up for Sitaux in the back. So he didn't win the game with the Jean Swordsman, but so rarely are you going to win the game with 1 attack at this level. It's got to be tiny advantages, which is what Sitaux's done to get to this position. Nice snipes there on the water. His own fishing ships have actually just been relocated. There's only 80 fish there, so it's not really that efficient. Just surprised he's going for a 4th town center now. It's crazy. Over here, he's got the monks, though. Monks need to stay away from the dock. There he takes down ACCM's market. ACCM will drop the 2nd TC. But ACCM's food eco is not really supporting these town centers long term. I think you can do it because the Lithuanians get the food boost from each town center. Monks are going to be important. If neither player has their monks, they're in really big problems here. ACCM wants to go light cav. I think I saw the research, but he just doesn't have the food eco to justify it. And Sitaux has to be careful. The docks could still fire arrows onto the monks. And Monk for ACCM moves out to get a conversion. Monk dies, though. And now the fishing ships are going down. And over here, we have Sitaux still remaining competitive on water. That's just a skirm. Is that town center number 5 for Sitaux? Excuse me? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 town centers. Well, it is a thing on if you have enough experience to recognize it's really hard to end games on a map or against a certain player, I'm actually fully on board with tons of town centers. Where it gets risky is if you can't produce a lot of military while also going for the town centers. But I don't even think Jean Swordsmen are that good anymore. You pretty much just want monks. So I think there is some logic to it. You spend the food on vills and you spend your gold on monks and then you just hope to survive. But yeah, I mean, what this does mean is that ACCM is not going to be pressured anytime soon. And ACCM himself has 3 town centers, which are churning out villagers, no problem. So Miyako says Jeans are just bad now, which is a shame. They literally nuked the unit. I disagree. They're bad in certain circumstances. They're not as good as they were before, but you know, like that can be the same with a lot of different units. I personally felt like the Jean Swordsman, while he didn't lead to a lot of kills here, I felt like the Jean Swordsman changed the game in terms of the threat. And it was just correct recognition from Sitaux to realize, okay, I don't want to commit to them against knights. The balance of this unit, regardless of what version we're looking at, like when it was released with the DLC or now, it's never meant to be good against knights. It's an anti-archer unit. So I think it's nice recognition to just go for monks instead. Now, we've got a castle coming from ACCM. And there it is. He's got his monks and his knights on the hill. Sitaux does have his army nearby. And Sitaux also has enough stone to maybe build his own castle. I mean, Sitaux could buy stone for his own if he wants. But he's just going to back it up over here. I really like that castle from ACCM. This is the problem with the 5 town centers. It's a problem with not mixing in pikemen, for example, is you're no longer pressuring your opponent and they can take the map control. But the castle for Sitaux will go up. That was really nice conversion there a second ago. The knight gets converted back. He's now sending the Jean Swordsman underneath the TC. And the Jean Swordsmen don't have any knights here to deal with them, so they can get some nice raids. They're perfect unit for raiding underneath town centers. Lots of idle time for both players. Sitaux has to consider what military he wants to make right now. Again, I think the Jean Swordsmen are a really good spot at the moment. They just can't fight against the knights. But underneath town centers with fletching, no problem. Wouldn't typically be the case for a 70 HP unit, right? Sitaux is very little on golds. He's got a lot on food. He's got farms everywhere. You can always fix the gold with 1 mining camp, so there he does that. Sitaux, 99 villagers against ACCM 70. What is the unit comp now, though, guys? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you consider the strength of the fire archer? Oh, man, big raids, big raids. The thing about the fire archer is I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan. If that's your main army choice, I don't love it. I think it's great that you have a castle to play into ranged units here. Getting Bodcanero and Ballistics is great for your town centers. I think there's other benefits to it, but I really think Sitaux feels like he's forced to play into Fire Archers because he was forced into that defensive castle. I don't think that was his plan. But great raids. Some good small moments from ACCM, though. And that's the thing about ACCM is he just never dies. He always hangs around. He's so stubborn. But I think that that's also why I really like Sitau's decision-making here. If you think your units are slightly worse, and you think your opponent is never going to resign, why not go for these types of town centers? He also is applying pressure to the areas you need to expand. I think that for Sitaux, he might start to look in the north. He might start to look in the south. And if this becomes a really long game, you might just want to play Navy, too. We've already seen Jian Swordsman. We might see Lu Xuan show up from the water. And with the unique tech as well, with Sitting Tiger, your Lu Xuans are insanely strong here. Another castle from Sitaux. More Fire Archers to protect it. That castle will go up, but here come the Rams from ACCM. Latis is one of the strongest units in the game. They ignore armor. They do cost a lot of resources, though. We have another town center over here from Sitaux. What is this man doing with town centers? Also goes for conversions. Two of his monks still have conversions. They're converting the villagers, though. And now, no! That's so bad for Sitaux. He needs those monks to convert the knights. He will throw a lot of monks here. In fact, he needs to delete them because Atonement is in and ACCM is starting to convert. ACCM needs to actually pull back. Don't kill them. Convert them. Oh, man. But the Latis are here. The Rams are here. There's just too much focus elsewhere. We have Redcliffe Tactics now from Sitaux. Okay. So with Redcliffe Tactics, your Fire Archers deal additional bonus damage against buildings. Fire Archers, that's kind of what their purpose is in life, is to destroy buildings and not units. I've never spoken to a Fire Archer, so I don't know about the purpose in life. But, you know, purpose, balance-wise, design-wise from the devs, is that's what they should do. But, man, there's a real issue for Sitaux. He's not fighting ACCM straight up. He's got the villagers, but he needs to kill this freaking army, man. We've yet to see pikemen. The Jian Swordsmen are all dead. He's clearly panicking as he queues up spearmen, and ACCM is going to go for another castle here. What is happening? Meanwhile, the Fire Archers are taking down a town center. They're both just kind of ignoring each other. But Rams and castle drops do a lot more damage than Fire Archers do over time. Now, I guess maybe if Sitaux gets to like 30 Fire Archers, then they can kill everything. Then you can technically take down the castle. But yeah, this is the chaos we talked about. It's weird, but I still think that the extra town centers from Sitaux keep him in a healthy spot here. Like if he didn't do the town centers and then he's getting castle dropped and rammed, losing a town center or two is a big problem, right? But he is under pressure. He is housed. He has taken big losses. At the same time, though, the Fire Archers took down a town center over here. And he has Redemption to convert the siege, which he will do. And maybe he can start to push these buildings himself. Oh, my God. The people in Sitau's base right now, they're like the people watching on YouTube who think that I constantly ignore them. They're like, hello, hello, stop looking at Twitch chat. Look at YouTube chat. What are we, second-class citizens? This is exactly what my YouTube chat's been like the whole time. And I'm like, YouTube chat, I'm aware you're there, but I'm busy right now, okay? This is me casting the game. I'm not trying to ignore you, but that's what these villagers feel like. Because Sitaux just has had no defense. Now, he's trying, but his barracks are getting rammed down, and his food ecos all over the place. It's really tough for him. And he also still has to focus on this push, because if you're not doing any counter damage, obviously, then you have problems. My YouTube chat is spamming hello. They're saying, hear our voice. Sure, Dad. Guys, it's all jokes, all right? But, I mean, it's a wild scenario. If the Fire Archers had one more attack, I feel like this would be a little bit more exciting. But you are seeing the castles slowly go down. Meanwhile, the villagers are getting completely slaughtered here up against the Latis, man. And yeah, you can't allow this town center to go down. There's too many villagers in there. But ACCM's under pressure. He has to look over here. Remember, he has no water control, so there could be random boats patrolling around catching his vills. You really need your army with your latest there. Well played from Sitaux. The idle time is skyrocketing. Sitaux really needs the north and the south at the moment. Like, town center down here would be huge. He doesn't see the stone and the gold. Town center up here as well. That might actually be the game-changing move for ACCM. Obviously, the raids are huge. But yeah, there go the fire archers. They're trying again to take down the castle. They did take down 1800 HP. It's just a weird unit because you get the additional range against buildings, but not against military units. More town centers from Sitaux. Oh my god. More town centers just to protect villagers. His eco is so idle at the moment. It's so uncomfortable. A Jean swordsman that was converted is going to be raiding the eco in the north. And Sitaux has given up on the castles. He's going for the monasteries instead, which is fine. I don't hate that. But I feel like his brain is kind of melted, you know? You're just going on pure instinct at the moment. If ACCM can clear these fire archers once, his eco count's looking pretty damn good. He's got the stone, he's got the gold. Here he goes with the latest, but Sitaux is still paying attention with the monks. Sitaux's monks here need to pay attention. He is. All right, so his eco will start to relax a little bit, but now he needs to look back over here. He snaps back over here. He'll definitely lose the monks. He gets a conversion or two. Does he have enough to actually kill the latest? He's building another TC, and he has to quick wall in his TC. Fire archers are so awkward here. Oh, that's nice work. Getting into the choke point is good. The reload time is a problem. The fact that there's a mangonel here is a problem. Sitaux has to notice and get out of here. He has to run. He deletes his own lumber camp. He's running away. Meanwhile, he is clearing up the raids. The fire archers will fall over to water now. There could be some boats coming in to help. There's a Hulk, but I don't think that's enough. I think the fire archers here are going to die. It's weird, though. I still think he did a lot of damage. He took down the town center. He forced a lot of reactions from ACCM. He did also kill all the military, and he is back to producing with 40 on food again. But I think you've got to give up on the fire archer. The fire archer is not how you win this game anymore. I think you need imp. I think you play Halb and you play imp. Just play pike defense, save your gold for Imperial Age. Once you go imp, you can just go traction trebs or Lushwans on water to win this game. If you continue this cycle of fire archers, I am not sure that it is going to be enough for you, but it's hard to turn your brain off like that. It's hard to think about it that way when you're in a tournament. I still can't believe the amount of town centers this guy is building. Like, he's got another TC going up here. And ACCM looking around will actually find that one and deny that one too. That's like the third town center denied. And he still has like 5 completed. ACCM can't really go imp because the unit he's producing costs food and golds. But ACCM, I think it just clicked in his brain. Raid the north and raid the south. Down here, though, Sitaux still has some control. This is obvious, but Sitaux needs this game, guys. You got to win this. If you lose this game, with how messy it's been, you just feel like you're not structured mentally anymore. If you win, you're like, all right, it got a little awkward there, but we're still the core strategy of just getting lots of vills so we can afford to lose the vills is completely fine. I think he'll actually reach a point where he's pop capped and he can't really produce anymore, and that's where the resources will rise for imp. He has any choices or any choice of which town center to end up using for the Imperial Age. He'll have 50 on food here, and he actually finds some raids over here on the gold. Again, an issue I think that could happen for ACCM long term is if he doesn't have the water control, how is he supposed to even take the resources on the outside? The water is very good for the Wu in terms of options, not so much for the Lithuanians. And how? Somehow, there's a town center from ACCM in the north, and Sitaux doesn't see it. That's a big deal. I don't even know how they got there. Were they like helicoptered in? Did I miss a helicopter drop or something? Sitaux will see the villagers on the lumber camp. Sitaux's bringing the pikemen over. Sitaux has 60 military. It's 12 military for ACCM. ACCM's killed 100 vills. But as quickly as he has killed them, Sitaux has replaced them. Sitaux also with more raids in the south. These are some well-timed raids. And I think ACCM's actually running out of resources. But we have a castle in the north. Guys, the IMF-TC is right there. I mean, it's not that far away. Luckily, there's another TC in front of it, so I think Sitaux will probably make it to Imp. Where does Sitaux have gold at the moment? Does he have no gold income? Oh my god, he has no gold income. None. Luckily, pikes don't cost gold, and you have 50 on food, so you could probably sell some food for traction trebs. The nice thing, too, is at least in worst case, if you can't make traction trebs, you still do have the fire archers to take down the castles. And now you can actually justify doing that because you don't need your fire archers to win the fights because you have pikemen. Military count is so low for ACCM. ACCM's castle will go up, though. If ACCM wins, what a comeback. He was so dead in early Castle Age, in my opinion. The castle drops and the latest were sick, but he loses that castle. And now, Sitaux can come over and take this gold, probably. It's funny. Fire archers are just... They're great at destroying buildings. They're not so good at everything else, right? So, that's what we've seen this game. Sitaux is dropping stables. His plan is to play light cav, which the Wu can do more than fine. And that switch with 40 on food against skirmishers should be... Could be enough for Sitaux to tie up the series. I love when when the importance of the set and the nerves of the moment become clear when watching players play. And when you watch Sitaux play tournaments, that's exactly what you see. And sometimes you see it and you're like, oh no, the player's going to lose because of that. But no, with Sitaux, it's like he's still able to get excellent results. He's able to fight through all of that. And I think, again, he didn't play his perfect game. But that's what the multiple town centers allowed him to do. It allowed him to be very adaptable. I think it's underrated. He needs enough space and time to drop a castle on the hill. Once he drops the castle on the hill, he's got golds consistently again. Little concerned here. Little concerned here for the villagers building the castle. He doesn't have Halb in front. It's light cav. Would have loved to see the Halb upgrade. The fire archers are all going down. The skirms are amazing for the Lithuanians, but I think the castle goes up anyways. The castle alone means that ACCM can't ever get close to this. And now we've got pikeman raids in the south. Sitaux sees this. He's even converting a villager down there. Over here, we got raids from ACCM that Sitaux will need to deal with. Doesn't matter. He's got town centers everywhere to replace these villagers. If ACCM was an imp, I think maybe there's a chance here. But the reality is, he's not really that close to the Imperial Age. And his eco is wide open for raids against the light cap. The south is an issue. Look at this. Sitaux raids the south and already has 20 farms placed down here. You see the rate at which he's expanding his economy? He's losing his economy a lot, and he is losing these town centers. He's still doing such a nice job. ACCM can't go imp because he has to produce. And soon we'll have the traction trebs from Sitaux, from these siege workshops, which will help him pressure the buildings even more. What a game. Seriously, though, an underrated thing here is to actually play water. Play loose swans in the middle as well. Like, it's basically this Civ's version of Cannon Galleon. So, Cannon Galleon in the middle is arguably just as effective as traction trebs, if not better. Because the ship probably a bit more practical against land units. The beauty of the traction treb, though, is you can go everywhere. And oh my god, speaking of everywhere, ACCM is going to get Vil snipes. Wow. He's killed 150 Vils. Yeah, Sitaux is focusing on the push. Sitaux is also going for raids. And again, ACCM will lose villagers. It's funny, but Hillforts came in for ACCM, so his TCs have extra range. That's not bad. Yeah, slowly he's going to start to lose the map. I don't know, though. It feels like things are stabilizing. Can he win this? Stabilizing as he loses another 15 villagers. We might run out of gold on this map. It's 2-2 for relics. The gold is being taken by ACCM in the north and the south, and there's stone down there. Sitaux's got this gold. Sitaux's got this stone. I don't know, though, but, like, still we haven't seen ACCM and Imp. I think I would need to see ACCM and Imp. It is criminal to me that we have not seen the Halb upgrade from Sitaux yet. And, okay, never mind. I've been saying it all game. Been waiting for that upgrade. He'll have that now. I think with that upgrade, it becomes nearly impossible to take engagements. Like, before, Laetus could kill the Pikes. Pikes are just a Castle Age unit, but the Halb bonus damage increase is just so much. And you don't have upgrades on your skirms, and you're losing your skirms as well. This would be really bad for ACCM. He needs the skirms with the Laetus to have any chance. He's too busy tracking the raids, guys. Nice job from Sitaux to keep him running back here. Yep, traction trebs are working on the castle. Halb upgrade is in. Where is this castle here? There are some raids, of course. Villagers are going to go down, but Sitaux still has town centers to replace every villager he loses. And still no Imperial Age for ACCM. You gotta love how yesterday we could only do one set. And that set ended up being really fast, right? Because from a schedule perspective, typically we'd like the really fast games to be on the day where we have 3 best of 5s, which is today. But nope. ACCM and Sitaux said, nope. Sorry, bro. Get ready for a 12-hour day. Remember this best of 5. Then we have Lewis versus Leary. And then we have Hera versus Viper today, guys. ACCM going for Cav Archers. The logic is you can't go melee units. You have to go ranged units, and you need a ranged unit that's better against all units. So I actually like the Cav Archer decision. But, again, you're down in age. If you don't have Bracer, I don't think Cav Archers are going to perform that well. This is just ACCM not wanting to call it quits. But he's lost 100 villagers himself, and Sitaux's just everywhere. And while it got kind of awkward at times, Sitaux's going to tie this up, man. Murder holes for ACCM. I mean, his pop is still decent. That fight's okay for him, actually. But it's this never-ending cycle. The only thing I'd say is if he had the relics, and then maybe Sitaux just fully ran out of golds, like maybe then there's a chance. There's only 3k gold left on the map. We've never gotten to this stage this season. To the point where, like, we're past an hour and the resources are running dry. But Sitaux has 2 relics. Sitaux has Halb, which he doesn't require gold. And Sitaux can always go into skirms as well. But I think Sitaux's got the right idea. Mass more traction trebs, just be patient, and then just keep raiding. And I'm okay with Halb raids, because ACCM is essentially going to use Laetus to clear up the raids now, so yeah, Lightcap continue to stream into the back. It's still vulnerable in the back of your base if you're Sitaux, so I think, yeah, never mind. Sitaux's doing all the right things. Sitaux's making it look like I'm saying the things with my commentary as he's doing it. You know, like MBL said once, T90 will be like, oh, look, he should build a castle. You know, and the castle's already on the way up. I promise I don't do that intentionally, but the last 3 things I've wanted to say, Halb upgrade, defensive castle in the farming eco, all the things that could go wrong for you, you need to think about, and Sitaux is thinking about it perfectly. Again, he not pushing with the traction traps for a second there was actually intentional because he didn't want to overextend. And clearly there's a mental shift from him to raid the north a little bit. Yeah, here he's finding kills. Obviously, the defensive castle kind of cuts off the push from ACCM. ACCM can't go this way because of the Halbs. Sitaux now realizes the army's coming this way for his traction trebs. He will drop gates, and he will back away towards the castles. Amazing. Just amazing. That's so good. And I don't think ACCM can get them now. That is so good. Especially if gold's running dry, you need the traction trebs. And meanwhile, he's raiding everything in the north. Beastly performance from Sitaux. Beastly response. And yeah, there's no way he loses now. But ACCM never resigns. ACCM's like, all right, I might be down in age, but I've got a pikeman on the water. That pikeman could be a Haub. I've got treadmill crane, so I can build a little bit faster now. I think we're well beyond the stage where he needed to try and get to Imp. But if he ever did that, he wouldn't have Latus, and he wouldn't have Skirms. We actually have the hero? All right, well, it's 1,000 resources. I still hate the fact it's in the game. What has happened to Age of Empires? But we do have a hero in the game for this DLC. They added heroes. It's 1,000 resources. And honestly, it's a little bit of a flex. If you see this guy, you're like, oh my god, really? 420 HP? There's the sun. Sunjan. I don't know if they're related to Jean Swordsman, we saw earlier. Maybe distant cousins or something. I forget what this hero does. Which one is this? It increases the movement speed of nearby units. Okay. So it's a strong unit. It costs 1,000 resources. And it increases the movement speed of nearby units. And so there we go. Halb should be a little bit faster. I don't think that applies to the traction trebs. ACCM has imp resources. And he does have the cav archers out there for the Halbs. Sitaux's backing away. Sitaux's probably like, are you kidding me right now? And ACCM holds. And he's on his way to imp. Bro. I love this about ACCM. Both players, just such big fighters. That's insane. He's going to get his relics back. He still thinks there's a chance. The hero went down as well. He just lost the hero. Bro. Like, don't spend 1,000 res if you're not going to protect that bad boy. Oh my god. There's still no way Sitaux loses this game, right? He is almost completely out of gold. But he's castling the north. He's got a huge army of light cav. And that army of light cav is going to find raids eventually. And down here, some monks go down and some villagers will go down from Sitaux. And there go the light cav here and here now. Hoping for more villager kills. We've had almost 400 villagers die this game. And we're not finished yet. I'd like to see Sitaux get into Skirm. Actually becomes a little bit of a wood game, though. You can tell Sitaux's running out of wood if he comes down here. He has no wood in the back. Wood in the middle is looking kind of sparse. Yeah, he's just relocated to that wood line. Still is finding so many villager kills. And he has the push coming on the front. And still, there's just not enough military for ACCM. ACCM is now actually out of gold. There's only 250 gold left. And that is apparently that one villager mining it for Sitaux. Redemption is in for the monk. I think the monk just died, though, so no conversions on the traction trebs. And oh no, not the castle. Not the castle. Losing the castle would be painful here for ACCM. And he's going to lose the castle. He'll make it to imp. But surely even ACCM is going to have to tap out here. Imp into GG, I think. 110 pop. He's losing ground everywhere. Sitaux might have flexed on him a little bit with the hero, but I think he only did it because he knew he could. And it was also like a get out of my game move. It was a little bit of a flex, you know? He's like, look how rich I am, you know? Freaking ACCM. ACCM's like, we got a chance. I'm in him. Oh. Well, type of one if your first time watching Titans League, because we've had previous seasons. If you don't know a lot about the players, for ACCM, he's the biggest fighter in our scene. And the meme is with him is he doesn't resign until he's 5k score behind. So right now, he's only 3k score behind. So clearly, he feels like there's still a chance to fight. There's a couple first-time chatters. Welcome. Might be a legendary day, man. Sitaux has also been outspoken about how he feels like he has some stamina issues in long sets. And ACCM loves the long sets, so maybe that's a small part of it. I mean, it's a weird game where, from ACCM's perspective, he has 3 corners, and that's where all the additional wood is. So he might be telling himself that Sitaux is running out of res. And that if he wins one fight, he still has a chance here. But I think from what we can see, it's only going to get better and better for Sitaux. And finally, we have the loose wands on the way. The loose wands, as I've been saying, are actually insanely strong. And I think they're viable on this map because they can range so much of the land and the water. And you control that ring of water, or you control most of the land at this stage, so... Okay, score lead is now 3,500 for Sitaux. Now, that will probably change pretty quickly because it's 80 pop now for ACCM. There's the Luchuan. Hold on. Keeping track. 4K score. All right. Nope, not ready yet. All right. 5K score will come. He's at 70 pop. But, guys, he's getting a counter raid with Halbs. Never mind. Calls the GG. Damn, what a game. What a game. That was a GGWP right there. What a game. We had 500 villagers die. We had 1,500 units in total. We had 1 million town centers. We had castle drops. We had castles getting destroyed. It was messy, but even though you could argue Sitaux made it a little bit more difficult for himself, I think in his mind, he knew this was going to be an absolute dogfight, and that's why he dropped so many town centers. So it's not perfect Age of Empires, but just to accept this is going to get messy. I need to be able to recover from my Vil losses is huge. And I think considering the weaknesses that the late game for the Wu has, I think that considering how little gold he had, all these things, I think it ended up winning him the game. Here's the fun stat, guys. Total villagers in a game, 270 for Sitaux, 298 for ACCM. This is in a 200 population game. But yeah, I think the key for Sitaux, he would add TCs, he would add farms. He had more wood, he had more food. The light cav raids worked out. The Halb upgrade was the most important thing. What ACCM lacked was he actually lacked a little bit more control in Feudal Age. It was the transition from Feudal Age to Castle Age that gave Sitaux the lead. I think if you look back, look at like the military population, there was a big drop-off here. And this is the Jean Swordsman moment, right? But then it got awkward because then we're becoming clear. It's like, okay, Jean Swordsman drop off a little bit. Knights become much stronger. And that's where Sitaux just realized, let's add monks and let's add town centers. And I don't think we have a town center stat here, but you could see the economy population for him just skyrocketed. And it was acceptable that he could take some of the losses that he did. So I said at the start of the stream how beneficial it is for someone like Sitaux to have had that bye. Because you can essentially see what ACCM does in the playoff format in terms of his strategies. And ACCM played in the round of 12 against Winchester and went for Bengalis here. And what he did, remember, you start with the queen, which if you lose, you're defeated. You start with a lot of resources, pre-built farms. There's a lot to happen all at once here. What he did was he went fast feudal. And that's not your typical play. We've seen a lot of like fast castling here. You chop to the outside, you take the stone. So technically Sitaux should know that his opponent did that. And now I'm wondering what he does to play against it. Sitaux almost losing the villager to the boar. Again, there's a lot to look at right now. And Sitaux gets the quick wall there, bringing in the boar. I think there's an argument to go fast feudal with the Burgundians because you can get the Bowsaw upgrade in Feudal Age, right? And there's obviously a huge argument to do it with the Bengalis because if you click up fast, you get the additional villager boost from making it to Feudal Age. So also could be nice if you end up chopping through to the outer edge. Looks like Sitaux has already microed his villagers onto the tree there, so he definitely wants to cut out faster. The faster you get out there, the faster you get onto stone, right? The weird aspect of this map is you have the fish in the middle. It's not hugely important long term, but there's a small advantage, and every high-level game is just a series of small advantages snowballing. And what changed this was the garrisoned docks. Now you can garrison the docks and fire some arrows. So it's a bit harder to just run out there and attack with anything. So far, we haven't seen Sitaux match the feudal age time. But as I say it, Sitaux will click up. So it's just a slightly faster build here from ACCM. Beezum says we won 15 games today. I'm down with that. I mean, 15 games would be the dream for me today. Forget about my energy levels at this point. I'll worry about recovering after TTL ends. Thank you. Yesterday, I talked to Dave about how important these buffalo are on the outside. And then Sebastian ended up sending the queen around the outside. Once the villagers cut through, we'll see if they choose to do that. No joke, I think you have to do it. Because you need to have your scout active on the rest of the map. And there's not going to be any military out there to snipe your queen. Now, you don't want to go too far. But I think it should happen. Now, let's see. ACCM went fires last time because he wasn't expecting his opponent to go feudal age. So he's going for a fire ship now. The logic being that you destroy the docks faster. But I think Sitaux will actually match his builds and go for hawks. And hawks beat fires now. And then we're in this weird situation where neither player really wants to overinvest into water, but you don't want to lose an area you're already investing into. A nice patience there from Sitaux, using the garrison with the fishing ships. And ACCM Scout has to run away. There's a lot of really weird dynamics here, but it's just the history of what we've seen. Yeah, Sitaux will force ACCM into a Hulk now. Villagers leave the fish. Scout comes in to push in some deer. We have a stump check. We've got 100 wood there. And let's see, this would be a good time. Sitaux will probably look back and click the tree again. There's 140 wood. Even if you shift click them, though, they'll bump into each other and one of the villagers will normally leave. It's kind of annoying. So it does take some paying attention. Sitaux killed the fire ship. What do you think, chat? How many ships is worth it here? I feel like once you're past 3, you're going into the stage which it's just not worth it. But again, you can't invest anywhere else to attack right now, so you kind of feel like you have to. You don't want to just give up water if your opponent invests and you don't. Someone says 6 to 7. Okay. I don't know. The answer is, of course, it kind of depends. You have to focus on other things with your eco balance, too. A galley addition from Sitaux is interesting, of course. Galleys hit bonus damage against the Hulks. But is one galley enough? I kind of feel like it's not. And Sitaux's micro just in and out of the dock constantly. Well played. Really making ACCM work, right? That's like 4 times now he's gone in to do something. Wouldn't surprise me if the scout is waiting. Ooh, villagers shifted off the tree there. Oh no, she's stuck. All right, so it's still 70 wood. And ooh, but the scout gets trapped. Oh, Sitaux, he gets trapped in. What a nice find. Scouts are so valuable here. There will be monks around. Again, Sitaux is making ACCM work hard for this, but that scout's dead. That's huge. Sitaux will be frustrated with that. I think the only saving grace for him is that he's probably going to add more scouts. I would assume that anyways, so it should be fine. Maybe not, as he uses the market to click up. Villagers are still not through. 60 wood there. And 200 wood on all these trees, so it'll take a little bit of time yet. Villager in the middle can't be garrisoned. That villager's dead. Well played to ACCM. And ACCM's on the way up. So I think I prefer ACCM's position ever so slightly. Having the scout that you can just heal up is awesome. Getting the additional villagers is awesome. Having killed that one villager is nice too. But you also don't have Bowsaw yet. You don't have the cheap light cav upgrade, which Sitaux has, and Sitaux is going to build the barracks and go light cav. Should be pretty even here. We'll see if the queens move out. What do you think, chat? Are we going to see the queens leave their towers at all? for ACCM, he's got the scout going to the middle. They're both going to add scouts. Ah, there's a Flemish militia from Sitaux. Okay, so maybe the Flemish militia will look. This just might not be worth the risk. Especially if you think your opponent's going to add scouts. You don't want to go too far with the queens. Maybe you go like here, here, and here. The 150 stone because of the regicide start. And ooh, okay, Sitaux. This is kind of cool. You're just hoping for a little bit of luck here, but you should know that in theory, your opponent is going to be building a town center back there pretty soon. And they might be taking a risk to do so. From what we can see, though, ACCM's already through, and ACCM's town center will be up. So, not sure if that will do too much. Someone says, ugly fat tower versus beautiful, tall, proud tower. ACCM's got this in the bag. Excuse me? Don't judge their towers. Very different architecture on the towers, though. I agree. This isn't a very tall tower, but it's just as strong. It's just as important. But this tower is a bit taller, so we'll see how that goes. Vil lead is there for ACCM. In the middle, the fishing ships are still alive. I think you're really just fighting over this relic now. You get that relic, you'll be happy. It's not about the fishing ships anymore. Here come the Flemish militia. These Flemish militia were told to do a job. They were given a description of the area. It's going to be a very different world when they arrive. The scout reported back. They're in the feudal age. You know, they only have hand tools. There's no additional fortifications or military. And then by the time the Flemish militia get there, there's going to be a whole freaking town over here and military. I still like it, though. Sitaux clearly likes the multitasking. He likes to have that extra unit or two on the map to make it tough for ACCM. And speaking of, he's got the scout here. ACCM has the quick wall there. He has the scout, or sorry, the monk here getting a relic. And they also had this scout. This scout was looking for this relic, but that's been walled up, which is a nice detail from ACCM. Wow, their reactions are on point. ACCM's quick wall there. That was great. That garrison there was also great. And now third TC for Sitaux. I think it's going to be 3-2 on relics here. ACCM will get the one from the middle. Sitaux will get this one. Sitaux will get this one. Flemish militia actually kill a villager. That's not too bad. And then down here, Sitau's scouts are attacking ACCM's scout. Again, nice micro, though, from ACCM to actually back away. Thank you, Pug, for the 27 months. What's up, Chill? Thank you for the Chill Chinchilla. Thanks for the 10 months. Era88, thanks for the 26. Cheesy, thanks for the 5. Says, thanks for all the content and hard work. Hope you get a good holiday soon. Yeah, I've got some plans. A week after this, I will be flying to London. Not for holiday, though. I'll be casting the Red Bull event there, so I'll be streaming that as well, making lots of videos about it. But we will spend a couple extra days there. Have a bit of a non-AoE break. But no, it's been amazing to have all of this with TTL. And the downside, obviously, is I have so many other ideas and videos I want to make and streams I want to do. And you can't do that when you're casting an event all the time. So that will also feel like a bit of a vacation for me to switch up and do some other things too. So, but I will take care of myself. I appreciate it. I don't want to get too burnt out or anything. And I will find the balance where necessary. But for now, screw balance. Balance is overrated. Unless it's eco-balance. Eco-balance we're all about. Or like a balanced military composition. That's the type of balance we appreciate. And man, Sitau's micro so good there. Just so many extra little micro movements I'm noticing in these fights. Like, those conversions are not easy to get. That blocking as well in the scout's not easy. Very well played. And again, he goes 4 TCs, so he's not playing around this perfect ink timing. He's playing around, like, full boom, which essentially means he has to protect the map. If you don't protect the map, then you get castle dropped, and then the fast imp can kill you. but he's protecting the map very nicely with the amount of light cav he has. And so ACCM has to respect that, and ACCM, who's getting his relic stolen right now, will drop a castle here. What I think this ends up being, though, is a couple Ratha for the map control with your monks, and then an additional forward castle. And the tower's right there, so you could drop a castle here, pressure the main base, and then force the queen out of hiding. Again, I mean, I look away to show you things I have to. We come back, and the little blocking there, and saving of the monk. This was supposed to be 3-2 for ACCM. But instead, it's probably going to be 3-2 for Sitaux with the relics. And he converts the Hawk there. Man, I'm really impressed with how Sitau's playing this right now. He was like 12 vills behind. It's about to be even. He'll get the relic back home. And he's got a siege workshop over here to pressure ACCM. And ACCM can't see it. So you have the outsides to worry about. You have the middle to worry about. This isn't going to win you the game or anything. But this is just going to distract your opponent. It's just one extra thing that ACCM needs to focus on. I always... This is maybe a little unprofessional or embarrassing. When I cast the Burgundians, I always get hungry for risotto. I don't know what they're saying, but when I click them, I feel like they're saying risotto. And I'm like, ooh. I could... I only had it like 5 times, but I wouldn't mind it. I don't know what they're saying. Monks getting conversions in the middle. Again, this is another reason why ACCM might not want to drop a castle here now. And here come the Mangonel, but the conversions from the Bengali monks. Wow. Oh, that's unbelievable from ACCM. He saves both monks. He gets both conversions, takes down the Mangonel. That shuts down the siege push right there. Because you're never really going to have a lot of support for that. But you wanted that to get some value. Over here, outpost from Sitaux showing the sides. I mean, villager will die, but I think that's worth it. Still has outposts on the outsides too. Could go for some very forward walls there to block that area off. For now, though, he is going to go for the walls here because he knows the Ratha might come over. And Ratha gets converted in the middle. Sitau's on the way to Imp. 8 villagers down. And the Bengalis will get the additional vills once they make it to Imp. So I think the economy should still be better for ACCM. And ACCM can gain control on the outsides now. But which civ is superior in the Imperial Age is the question. I think with big economies, and we're talking 150 villagers, I think Bengalis are superior. With low economy, I think the Bengalis kind of struggle a little bit because all their units are fairly expensive. The Burgundians have cheaper stable upgrades, right? That discount helps. Burgundian gunpowder does more damage than standard gunpowder, so it's just more like bang for your buck as far as that's concerned. But if ACCM can get to fully upgraded Ratha, Elite Elephant Archer, or Elite Battle Elephant, it's very, very strong comp. Nice walls here from Sitaux. ACCM will go for the forward walls. There's an argument to even go further forward because the stone's in that corner. But you want to play it safe. And, ooh, sneaky. But ACCM doesn't have outposts. He doesn't see that Sitaux has another vill here. Might have been the same vill that built the siege workshop. And there will be a wall going up there. There's also an outpost here from ACCM. We'll find that Sitaux is walling that as well. And actually, it's a big deal to stop this. And she is gonna... Can she just walk through the gate and around, maybe? Handcart is in 15 seconds. Sitaux clearly notices this and trying to get the gate down. There will be military on the way. You have to be careful there. Ratha are attacking on the sides. Sitaux has skirmishers planning on that. And Sitaux has a castle foundation there, which is kind of crazy. This villager's still running around in a circle. So that's still open. This villager down here has been spotted. So this will actually be denied. Skirmishers, though, are on the Ratha. Conversions came in for Sitaux. That's not a bad start to the engagement, but he doesn't have Bracer yet. And so the Ratha still get what I consider to be okay value out of that. There's the forward castle from Sitaux, which I think ACCM can see. He's got outposts everywhere. Stop the wall off on this side. That was awesome. Stop the wall off on this side. And will probably complete his own wall up on this side. Queen is on the move for Sitaux, just in case. And as long as ACCM sees this, he can kind of prepare for what's to come here. We can tell what Sitaux was trying to do, but he was never really able to fully catch up to the economy that ACCM has. And ACCM's got 121 vills against 99 now. So, like, 1/6 more economy. Military is going to be insanely strong as well, because that's a lot of Ratha. And while skirms do bonus damage against Ratha, I don't even know if that is enough. Like, Ratha, when upgraded with the Pikes upgrade and Elite, are just so strong. Maybe, though, we're seeing how good the skirms are. This is a gold unit after all. And, yeah, nice micro from Sitaux. Sitaux also can snipe a monk there. Misses the monks, but uses the skirms. And kills one of them, at least. Guys, the trebs are out now. The queen is in that tower. Hopefully ACCM doesn't forget that. The skirmishers are coming from home. The skirmishers will obviously be in support. And there's the siege workshop for Sitaux. His plan is obviously bombard cannons, but his treb is there. And his treb is exposed, and the Ratha have melee mode. And it's underneath the castle too, which means if the Ratha are underneath the castle, they don't get hit because of no murder holes, and the treb gets sniped. Not what Sitaux wanted at all. He wanted to push with this. He didn't want to be losing his early trebs. And he wanted mass bombard cannons, but he still hasn't quite found the timings yet. You look at his resources, he only has 6 on golds, which isn't enough for consistent bombard cannon production. And another castle from Sitaux to hold the line here. Or, sorry, ACCM. But technically, it's a little bit risky to continue with Ratha. My feeling, though, is if your economy's good enough, the unit is good enough to continue, and it simplifies your approach. You've already invested into 4 or 5 upgrades that apply to this unit. Trying to switch to another unit would take too much time. He's simply hoping he can hold, take down this castle, and if he does that, maybe then he has the time to switch. Cannon galleon coming out. Yeah, if a queen or a king gets sniped in a legitimate, like, snipe attempt, not someone tossing away their queen or king just because they know they're dead, I'll still gift the subs. That deal still stands for the rest of the tournament. So I'm staring at this queen right now in this tower, and I'm a little bit nervous, but I think ACCM's fairly confident in the position. I'm starting to see the light cav now. But Bengalis don't get bombard cannons. So the Ratha will have to engage against the skirms, and there they go. Again, I think that's fine. I don't think skirms necessarily counter this unit. This unit is insanely strong. At least paired with the eco that the Bengalis have. And the Ratha will take the treb. The Ratha can take the bombard cannon. And Sitaux wanted to kill before it got to the Bengali late game, and it's just not enough. So many losses for Sitaux here. This was the exact strategy that ACCM used against Winchester. Sitaux knew it was coming. Still hasn't been able to slow him down. It hurts for Sitaux as well, right? He's repairing this castle to keep it up, which he will actually do for a little while. So well played. But as he does that, Cannon Galleon survives! He micros it and it survives! Yeah, sorry, to complete my thought, if you repair this castle to keep it up, you have no stone for any other castles. So the longer the game goes, the more exposed you are all over the map. So you need to push even harder now. This is all before the light cav switch comes in. Lots of food banked up for ACCM. Ratha are just really strong, man. And once players got used to being able to use the melee and the ranged mode, they got even stronger. But just such a nice unit to have. And then you have the even stronger units you can switch into, like the Elephant Archer and the Siege Elephant if you wish to. 152 villagers for ACCM as he will drop another castle now. And this is where his gold is. Like, Sitau's position to push is actually really smart because the queen and the relics and the gold's all right here. So if he pushed 20 tiles beyond this, he wins the game. But he's never has had enough to do so. And finally, his castle goes down. I just think ACCM is one raid away from forcing the tap out. He doesn't even need to fully defend here. If ACCM goes anywhere else, Sitaux doesn't have any protection now. He's going to take the straight-up fight, which is kind of not ideal. But if he raids here, there's nothing. If he raids here, if he goes back here, there's no defense, right? And I think it's only a matter of time. Might not be needed, though. Because more bombard cannons go down. And the Trebs are moving forward. This would be a stage where if Sitaux were to lose his queen, I'd consider this game kind of already over in terms of our bet, chat. That queen is in the back, just hiding, staring off into the distance, pouting almost. She's upset. She's like, why didn't we win the fights? I thought we had a plan. Yeah, this is going to be ACCM's game. What a series. Treadmill crane again, so we could build faster. Melee upgrades, which will apply to the Ratha and the Lycav. That will be spans. And raids have found the right side. Sitaux is like, I'm just going to do the same thing as you, bro, so we'll be here all day. Sure, I'm dead, but I'm going to make you earn it. He's playing the 5K rule again. That's so funny. Guys, I don't think the size of Sitau's tower in his base or the architecture of the tower had anything to do with this, okay? The towers, it just depends on the architecture of your civ, all right? It's not that important. It wasn't a tower difference. It was a build difference. It was strategy difference. And in ACCM's case, it was an economy difference. I was really impressed with Sitau's micro. I felt like he was able to create a lot of magic in the Castle Age, but his plan clearly was to end it fast, and he just lacked the numbers there. It's one of those situations where if you're not going to make it to Imp and already be maxed out with your army numbers and your Castle Age upgrades, you're better off just staying Castle Age a little bit longer. Remember how late Ballistics was? Remember how late like the Trebuchets and the Castle were? I don't know where Imp was. So like Imp was here, right? And then you see all these upgrades and they're just not when they needed to be. I think also the military numbers too. Like he gets Elite Skirm at 2530. He's an Imp at 2555. He didn't have the numbers to play with the map control there, which just gave ACCM so much more time. In terms of the economy, he had the economy population the entire game. The military population was even. And then just like villagers on resources was just so much more for him throughout the whole game. So yeah, well played to ACCM. Bounces back up 2-1. One more win now, and he moves into the semifinals. So yes, we speculated on this a little bit because I saw the Huns on the draft, and I am in love with the Huns. But we just don't see the Huns played all that frequently at a high level. But we knew that ACCM had Huns on his draft in that series against Winchester. And if that went to the 5th game, he had Huns waiting on his Civ draft, and he picked it again here, and we are going to see it. So the only downside of the Huns, I'd say, is the fact that you start with less wood. And it's kind of interesting because the Malians also have a wood bonus. But the Malians, all their buildings are discounted on wood. So you pick the Malians because of that flexibility. They have more to spend early. So what you could do is you could chop these reeds. You could build a barracks. You could make militia. And you could wander out there to try and disrupt ACCM and try and keep them off the wood line. But like, it's all about the timing if you go for that build. And yeah, there it is. So Sitaux had done this before, which is why I expected it. You only have 100 wood for a lumber camp if you're ACCM. You don't actually have the wood for the palisades. I think if you see this, you obviously try and slow it down by just attacking a little bit and making Sitaux have to wall with the palisades. But yeah, if you see this, you just go out to the wood line and get enough wood so you can palisade wall it before the militia arrive. This is fascinating. I think this is great preparation. Oh god, the villager's trapped. The villager's trapped. There's another villager coming. That is an uphill hit from the scout. I'm honestly, I'm kind of fine with that. I'm surprised ACCM's going back. Really surprised he's going back for more. He's lost a lot of scout HP. But point is, he knows the barracks is there. He knows the militia are coming. And so I've known about this build for like 3 months at this point. We saw it with the Champies civs. once the new civs came out, but prior to that, we saw it with the Incas, we saw it with the Persians, we saw it with the Lithuanians. Here's how it goes, though. So if your opponent sees it, they're going to wall up their wood line. So then you're supposed to move on from the wood line and get value elsewhere. And that value elsewhere is supposed to be on houses, guys, because the houses are on the downhill and they have negative armor. So it's very easy to take out Dark Age houses that are on the decline like that. But there's no houses for the hunts. So I think the logic from ACCM is go ahead and drush me. My wood line's going to be walled up, so I'll have no problems there. And then I have all the other food underneath my TC, and you can't really do anything. I don't like, though, that he lost the scout HP. I think that that was needless. If you kill the Vil, worth it. If you don't kill the Vil, it's not. But that's just well played from Sitaux. And Sitaux knows about the wood line. Why is this not walled up? Forgive me, but I'm just expecting this to be walled up. You knew the drush was coming. I don't understand. I think it's just an obvious misplay here from ACCM to not have this walled. This is the whole build. You know it's coming. You kill the scout, you lose a villager. That's confusing to me. To see the barracks, to know the militia are coming, to know the only area you're exposed on the wood line and not have the walls is very odd. Maybe he'll convince himself this is still fine. He still has his scout and his opponent doesn't. But I don't know. It's like very easy to just place the palisade walls there. I have no explanation. I try my best. If something goes wrong for a player, I try and explain why, right? Usually there's an explanation. They're distracted. They're busy. They didn't have the information with the scouting. But I am just as confused as you on that one, guys. Literally everything pointed towards the militia coming. But Vil is dead. More villagers will come to the wood line. Now, we're not going to see any more villagers go down. With Loom being in, it's probably fine. So you don't need the walls now necessarily. And ACCM was a little late with the mill. But he'll drop the mill. And this is where the Huns can start to be pretty strong. It's where they're spamming scouts, spamming army. And oh, he gets the walls now. Nice little trap there from ACCM. Oh, man, he loses the gate. That's actually still pretty nice because Sitaux might want to add more militia. And so that weakens the whole group. And Sitaux is going to be on the way up. I expect more militia. Game plan is definitely to go man-at-arms here. Lazy Lucretia, thanks for the 33 months. Lazy Lucretia says, who needs walls when you have ACCM's balls? Well, thank you for your insights. Yeah, but I mean, that's just... Ha, funny, but that needs to be better there, right? We're talking quarterfinals now. And I don't think that villager should ever go down. But, yeah, ACCM, very confident. I would agree. Yo, RJ, thank you. Thank you so much. Elevid, what's up? Huns have been so infrequently picked or played in this season. Can ACCM send himself to the semifinal with the Huns? He's got to expect more militia again. I swear, I'm going to lose my mind. You can't house wall with the Huns if you need a panic scenario, right? The build all season has been to always add additional militia now. He didn't see them, though. And it's going to be 5. And he's going for the big walls. Big walls. No. This is going to be so bad. This is going to be so freaking bad for ACCM. Unlike him, he has not acted on the information. And I think he just doesn't know what's coming. And he has to. Here come the militia. Man-at-Arms upgrade is 15% away. He now can't house wall. And Sitaux is blocking it. And the Man-at-Arm upgrade's about to come in. And this is so terrible, dude. This is so terrible. There's so much military here. I mean, game plan completely out the window at this point. Just some pre-walls, though. The same issue as before. The 2 villagers down now, but amazing from Sitaux, right? I know that there's some level of like criticalness in my voice right now, and I think that ACCM could, maybe should have prepped for this, but it is Sitaux sending the pressure after he's been, after he's gone down 2-1. That was amazing. See, look, Sitaux doesn't know what his opponent's going to do, but he's preemptively walling because he knows there will be danger. So he's executed a very nice build. He sees the stable now. I think there's an argument to actually attack that stable. That is on the downhill, so you could take that down pretty quickly. But also, the difficult thing about the map is protecting yourself on the berries now. Double range from Sitaux behind. Has the archers waiting in the choke point. Has his villagers there too to fight that back. And the man-at-arms are going to push ACCM off the berries. T90, you're forgetting that ACCM just wants to give us more games to watch. Well, if that's the case, I guess thanks to him. But as a competitor, I think he's got to be frustrated with himself at the moment. Another villager goes down. This has been the perfect game for Sitaux. The perfect game. 4 villager kills. No villager losses. The only thing he's missing is the eco upgrades. But that he's still got plenty of time for that. Spearman ends up going down after killing 1 scout. The archers are still here to defend from the scouts. And the food eco is going to be so complicated for ACCM because he hasn't really been on his berries much. Whereas Sitaux's got mill and milled. He's got double mill. He's collected so much more food. And now the archers are going to be forward. I think this is just over. Sitaux has just completely stomped him here. And there will be a snipe from ACCM. So he gets 1. But when the archers move forward, if Sitaux has fletching, we don't even have a blacksmith yet for ACCM. So, fair to say that whatever the game plan was for ACCM, he has not been able to execute it. It would not have been this. Here come the archers now. And Sitaux's micro has just been ridiculous. Every single one of these attacks, he's blocking perfectly. He did so with the scout in the Dark Age with the first 2 militia. He did there with the man-at-arms as well. And now the archers are here as well. And oh, man. Yeah, the villagers have to run away down the hill. Another villager goes down. I don't even think ACCM will have the resources for fletching. He can't afford anything. He'll have no food. What are you supposed to do for food? You have no berries. And you can't farm around the TC. You lose your berries here, you're just done. You just run over to this berry bush and hope for the best. Can't even tower it now because you had to tower your wood line. Maybe some vills on stone for more towers would be the play here for ACCM. Again, Sitaux's got so much military, and ACCM just taps out. It's 2-2. We're going to a game 5, which is epic. But as a fan of the Huns... Ah! Sorry, no bias intended, but I love the Huns, okay? And it makes me sad to see what just happened to my Huns. ACCM had scouted the militia. He knew the militia could be on the way, and he just got completely brutalized by them. A little bit of preemptive walling would have been so good for ACCM. But beautiful job from Sitaux. I won't even show the stats on that one because that was just a slaughter. Actually, that's not the right play. I need to show the stats. It was just so smooth. The ideal play to play Age of Empires is get calculated aggression in with the perfect eco management behind. And so he had all of that here. The fact that he completely finished these berries already, was almost finishing these and had 3 farms up already. Whereas for ACCM, he's still got like 8 berry bushes back at home, is very telling there. Well played. All right, I think it's working now. I don't know what was happening with my game, and we're into it now. Sorry about the speed up here. Game number 5. This is huge to send them into the semifinals. We had a scout conflict. We didn't have a lot more than that. Scout's at 19 HP for ACCM. Scout is at 23 HP here for Sitaux. And look where both players are lurking with their scouts. They want to stop the other from bringing in the hunt. What we missed during the zoom moment there was the rhino on the river here for both players was safely brought in. Neither player researched loom. So they've got that rhino and they've got the 2 boars inside of their base. Now, every time we cast this map, I'm just shocked at how much risk people are taking to actually move out and take some of the additional hunts. But I think considering the stakes, guys, it's just not worth it. I could be wrong, but you don't want to lose vills. You don't want to take the risk, and I am wrong. I am wrong. Here comes Sitaux, game number 5. So we've got Bohemians against the Spanish. We've got some great late-game powerhouse civs. But here comes Sitaux, no loom. when the opponent's scout is actually out there, and he wants the elephants to help him with the fast castle or potentially the fast stamp. But how many elephants will he go for? Dude, I mean, respect. It stresses me out that he's taking the risk. Oh, he shot the zebra, though. I don't think that was the plan. I think he was bringing in another boar. He's waiting for his scout. Meanwhile, ACCM brings the scout over. He's just going to push in zebra from the back. Technically, if ACCM looks down here, he could see a dead zebra. Is that a strategy from Sitaux to see if ACCM's looking here? Is this ultimate big brain time? Like, look, he kills the zebra. If ACCM is lurking, ACCM will show up and investigate. And now he's like, okay, is the coast clear? Is the coast clear? There's no scout. Scout's still not here. He double checks. And now he goes for it. Damn. I mean, maybe you also want an additional food, but I think that's actually just to bait ACCM out if ACCM is lurking. And now he knows he's safe, and now he's getting the elephants, and there he goes. That's pretty sick. Whoever wins this series, we're going to interview. Remember, if we end up interviewing Sitaux, this moment, please, because I'll probably forget. Especially because there's a lot of crazy stuff to come from this game. I really like that detail. Damn, that's cool. And he will get the elephants. And ACCM can't do a damn thing about it. ACCM, if you were to look, can see it, but he's too far away. And he's just pushing in his zebra, which is fine for him. He's going to stone. The plan is castle drop. And Sitaux will kill off the elephants with the TC, which you can do now and still take the food. And he does it old school style. So now he gets the additional food. Wow, and he's up too. All right, well, it's pretty clear then. If Sitaux's up this fast, he's going for monks, and he's going for a lot of monks. If ACCM's adding a couple more vills, and ACCM is going to stone, ACCM's obviously going for the castle. But I think both players could go for their own castle. Bohemians are really good at that too. And Scout comes back out here for Sitaux. Can't really tell you which civilization is preferred. I think it does depend. I think if the Spanish player can get conquistadors out, there's always really solid chances. But I think if both civs are played to their maximum, I think that Bohemians are better. Just slightly, like 55%, 60% or something. And that's because of the gold mining and the stone mining bonus, and because of the strength with their monks. Bit of a misclick there, as Sitaux has to transfer to the other elephant. But for Bohemians to dominate, you need to have the gold mining. And there's only 5 tiles in your base, and eventually we've got to shift our focus to the hill. And the hill's cracked terrain too, so if you're on top of the hill doing damage against any buildings, you'll take down buildings pretty much twice as fast. And so I think if ACCM were to know that Sitaux is not going for his own castle, he would want to castle drop, and he should maybe castle from this side. Because you block off the stone and gold. Oh, Sitaux's up. Sitaux's up. And Sitaux is in. Sitaux says hello. And he gets in. And that is a huge deal. Because now he could stop the zebra from being pushed. He could also stop the water buffalo from being taken. And ACCM didn't have the additional food. But he also gets to see the stone, too. So he's like, what's up, bro? What are you doing? Just taking a look-see here. He also gets to see the location of these resources. Now, I think ACCM should never lose his scout. ACCM should actually leave his base now, and then Sitaux can't see what ACCM is doing out there, but it's one of the rare situations I think it's worth it to run in, because you need to know if he's going for monks or conquistadors, and now you know. Oh, man, Sitaux is feeling so good about that. Multiple garrisons don't end up killing the scout, and then you also see how little food he has underneath the TC after you stole his cow. Oh, that's so nice. So well played. And here's the scout for ACCM, but again, he's locked out. I think he will assume monks because of the uptime, but it's actually villagers on stone for Sitaux now as well. And I think that's fully adapted based on what he saw. Because Hussite wagons are pretty damn good against conquistadors. Look how close he is to the town center with this scout. Look at that. He actually went after the Ville. Sitaux's feeling so good. That's so close to the town center. Oh my god, he gets it! Oh my god, he actually gets it! Sitaux! Man, dude, what has he been doing this game? The little maneuver there With the villager at the start as well, it's killing the zebra into getting in, finding the opponent's strategy. The only thing that could be better is the scout kill. Oh! Sitau's living the dream. If Sitaux doesn't win this game right now, life is not fair. Oh my god. This is the best 2-0 KD start I've ever seen. It's so good. And he's like, what are you going to do about it, ACCM? What are you going to do about it? Where are you going to place your castle? I still can see everything you're going to do. Watch him block the castle spot now, too. Oh, yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is. He's waiting for that castle spot. Oh, he almost got it. He almost blocked it. And okay, castle's on the way up. The issue I see for ACCM is his unique unit costs food. So honestly, I'm not sure he should make that many conks. I think you make like 1 or 2, and then you end up making monks. But even the detail of putting the water buffalo there so it's not on the opponent's wall so ACCM can't see it is so smart. Look at that. You could easily find that thing, but it's just the perfect spot to hide it. Castle's on the way up for Sitaux. Sitau's taking his time, though. So castle's on the front. He's also hiding that, so it's not on the edge of the map. Second TC's in the back. Monastery's going up. I think going fervor would make a lot of sense here because it increases the efficiency of your eco with the Bohemians. Missionaries could get a lot of relics, though. Not having your scout on the outside still has its downsides. And there's the missionary. Missionary's here to save the day for ACCM. ACCM's got good farming eco. The Conquistador will come in here and kill the scout. Of course, Sitaux is still going to micro this. And the scout's still alive. His being as annoying as possible. Dude, this is so funny. Kill it. Oh my god, kill that thing. Kill that freaking scout. I'm mad at it now. Oh my god. Okay, finally. My god. But ACCM's got to stay locked in, all right? He's got to stay locked in. He's got to stay consistent. And the missionary change is huge for the Spanish now. You're so fast. You can get to those relics so quickly. Look at this. Sitau's just a little old monk. He doesn't have a donkey to help his old man. This monk actually seems a little bit younger than the missionary, but nope. There's the relic. Would be hilarious if the missionary walks right past the monk on the way back. Nothing to see here, boys. Nothing to see here. And Sitau's like, wait a second. It's like, that's my relic. He's also thinking, like, where'd you get those donkeys? I want one. Over here, monks and Hussite wagons have to pay attention to the conks. And ACCM, he's behind in Vils, but he has nice military control right now with the Conquistadors and the missionaries, and is starting to get the relics. But he didn't know until this moment about the castle. I don't think he had seen the Hussite wagons, and the Hussite wagons are trying to cut him off, but everything Sitaux has is slower. Horse beats wheels, and donkey beats feet. You know what I'm saying. And yeah, the Conquistador should kill that monk as well. And that's a nice find. And I only thing I'll say is Sitau's Viscount's looking very nice. Unfortunately, the Hussite wagons missed that volley. And the Conquistadors are going to run away. Second TC's on the way up now for ACCM. If you get the relics here, you'll probably feel fine about being down a couple Vils. But lovely economy from Sitaux as he loses another monk. These are expensive losses, guys. Losing monks like that is not something you would typically consider acceptable. Sitaux will go for town center number 3 on the stone. Could technically place it a bit closer to the gold as well, but I don't think he wants it to be spotted. And he's immediately going to build an outpost. This is all very risky. There's Conquistadors out, but I think it's worth it if you can complete the outpost so you can know where ACCM is at all times. Did he get fervor, by the way? Yeah, he did get fervor. So that actually increases the movement speed of the Bohemian villagers as well. Yeah, Sitaux is, I think, just going to give up on the south now. He's getting this relic, but after that, his full focus is going to be on the north. And it seems like it's going to be very similar for ACCM. ACCM didn't ever scout the relic, so while he knows it's down there, he doesn't know that it's gone. And Sitaux can see this. He sees the Conquistadors. I would run past them. Run past them, delete your own wall, and then box them in here. Seems a bit risky to delete your own wall there, but imagine if he actually kept going this way and got to the other side of them there. And then ACCM might not have been able to escape, because the Conquistadors do die to the Hussite wagons in similar numbers. It's just the Conquistadors have the mobility. Yeah, there's the outpost. But at least you know now, right? All these outposts give you so much vision and information. And the plan is eventually to get a castle up on this hill for both. A siege workshop is such a nice choice from ACCM. But he goes... To my surprise, he goes for the siege at home. And it's like he wants the siege to come down to the south to support the Conquistadors here. Sitaux wanted the walls there. And that villager ended up getting sniped. And then up here, it's a lot of vision for Sitaux. Town watches in, and he'll start sending monks and Hussite wagons this way. His plan is definitely for a castle. ACCM's outpost will see the other outpost. They'll maybe find the villagers here, and ACCM moves away. Sitaux has had such a good game plan to play against the Spanish. Know what the opponent's going for. Go for your own Hussite wagons. Mix in some monks. But can he actually get the kills? I think he's not expecting siege at the moment because he hasn't seen the siege workshop in this position. So weirdly enough, ACCM siege workshop being from home might be a very nice move for a surprise. This might come down to if the castle can go up for Sitaux. Honestly, this game could end in the next 2 minutes. All of his Hussite wagons are running over now. All the mangonels and conchs are converging to this area. If Sitaux can send the villagers now, he can maybe build a castle at the very top of the hill. But he's not expecting the siege. And siege against Hussite wagons is a problem. Thought Sitaux was doing fine, but now he wants to make a switch into archers. I don't like that choice here. Investing that much wood into archers, and then you need the blacksmith upgrades for the archers too. Oh, man, I don't know. I think he's realizing as well that this is just not enough. He doesn't have his military all together. He wasn't expecting the siege. Hussite wagons are going down. And he just sold his stone. He just sold his stone to get chemistry, and he sold his stone so he can get crossbowmen. Wow. I mean, ACCM doesn't see this, but he could soon, and that's a lot of villagers on stone there. But he still has no clue that TC is there. This is ridiculous. Yeah, now you see the TC. You might reposition to the hill to pressure the TC. Fletching's on the way for Sitaux, but he lost faith in the wagons. And I think he lost faith in the monks because he wasn't getting the fights he wanted. Man, ACCM didn't see the tower, though. Wow. ACCM will bring Vils soon, guys. The Vils are going to walk up the hill for a castle. I'm sure of it. Chemistry upgrade takes a long time, and that's in now. Tower's not going to protect all those villagers. And the town center's going down, so some nice villager kills. Redemption's on the way for ACCM, which means he can convert the wagons. Nice micro there from Sitaux, though, against the mangonel. He does lose his own crossbows, which is kind of what he wants to be the answer here against the Conquistadors. I'm just not convinced. I don't think he has the numbers. He's not anywhere close to the numbers he needs. And now the Vil count is 65 for ACCM, and it's 70 for Sitaux. It was such a good start for Sitaux. But he's not been able to take any valuable engagements. He started with the KD 2-0, and since then he's gone 3-25. And it could only get worse. Here come the villagers for ACCM. For the hill. I think you can place the passive castle, but ACCM's just not a passive guy. He's got the energy. And he knows, Sitaux is spending a lot of gold and needs the gold. So why not place the castle here? The answer is because it's risky. He's dodging back and forth. He just needs time for that castle to complete. Castle's on the way up. Sitaux will run at the siege. The micro's good there from Sitaux. He takes down the mangonel. That's what chemistry can do for you. But that castle's going up. And the castle going up is a huge problem. Man, what a great job from ACCM to expand this farming eco. He's got 20 farms behind this. He also got 5 relics. Now he has 2 castles to produce conquistadors. Desperation time for Sitaux. And okay, he goes for the castle there. Okay. I mean, I kind of like it because it protects that gold. And at least you have that. That could at least take you to imp. I think the crossbows can... They're easier to produce than conquistadors. And the crossbows are also in between the castles now. So it's not like ACCM can produce from both castles and group everything up in the middle. Weirdly enough, ACCM's very worried now. The problem with crossbows is it just took so much freaking time to get there. And then in that much time, he lost the map control. But now that he's there, it's strong. And we know Sitaux's micro will be insane. Nice shot from Sitaux. I thought he was going to lose the game, honestly. But to still have this gold, to have a lot of map control, at least with his army on the hill, is still huge here. He needs to get imp, and then he can make bombard cannons right away once he's an imp. And upgrade the crossbows. ACCM can't go imp because conquistadors cost food and gold. ACCM can engage easily. Sitaux's micro will melt the mangonels. Siege against crossbows. Not so good once that +1 damage is in. And I don't know about this for ACCM. He's getting close, but his conks are getting shredded. He does have bloodlines. He has to clear this now. That is a costly engagement. If you lose this engagement, you'll regret it big time. It's so close, but I guess he clears it. And he gets the job done finally. He's got 15 conquistadors. There's 6 crossbows versus Sitaux, but Sitaux's not done. Sitaux is now on the way to Imperial Age. Now, a couple small things to mention before this gets crazy. There's still gold down here. There's still stone. So it might be worth it for Sitaux to get some villagers on the stone. ACCM still doesn't know about this castle. And he still has never checked these golds. And that's 29 villagers. These 29 villagers are keeping Sitaux in the game. The siege workshop for ACCM, I assumed was for Rams, but I think he's just going to plan on trying to go imp. And now he sees the castle. And now he's like, what? That is one of the weirdest castles we've seen on this map. But it ends up being so important. Because ACCM was just counting on the fact that Sitaux wouldn't have any gold. Yeah, ACCM has stopped conquistador production to go imp. He'll click. And he'll make it to imp. Should be no problems there. Sitaux needs to conserve his numbers. He needs to be patient. But patience is kind of difficult to have when you feel like you're behind and you feel like you need damage all the time. There's the siege workshop. That will be for bombard cannons, which Sitaux can make right away. But that castle is sending units into the castle fire. I don't know why, except for the fact it's just lack of focus here. Pick a winner, chat. It's kind of the perfect game 5. Sitaux has the villager lead, and Sitaux will have the tech advantage for now. But ACCM has the map control, and ACCM has the relics. It's so close. I think it can go either way. A lot of it for me comes down to if ACCM can hold, and I think for that he needs more vills on stone. You need like 10 on stone so you can consistently repair your castles to give yourself time for a potential tech switch. And the knights are going to be the tech switch for him because he sees the skirms. Is the tech switch spotted by the outposts here? It's not. The outposts are gone. The house doesn't have enough vision. Bracer will come in for Sitaux. He loses 2 crossbows. But yeah, it's primarily skirms. Skirms, trebs, and bombard cannons all to push this. He's got 700 gold left. And the crossbows here moved out again. And the skirms are not here. Ooh, that's really good for ACCM, I think. Just forcing those crossbows away. Very awkward to move around if you're Sitaux in this position. Your units are going to bump and path awkwardly. Age of Empires was not made for these little choke points, I'll tell you that much. Sitaux still has not taken these golds and stones, but he still could, and he does have outposts over there if ACCM ever expands. And the first castle for ACCM on the front will go down. But he still has time because he still has more. And there's a treb from Sitaux here. Actually... Well, no, he loses the treb. No problem. ACCM gets the snipe. But he loses a castle. Now, if Sitaux correctly predicts that there will be a switch out of Conquistadors and goes for Halb, Bohemians have the best Halbs, like one of the best Halbs in the game. And he's doing it. But he doesn't have the Halb upgrade and he doesn't have the numbers yet. He needs the numbers. 8 Cavalier can snipe all the siege, and then ACCM has so much time. And he'll have Imp Armor, and he's waiting, and Cavalier upgrades in. Sitaux had that crazy gate, well, like quad gate earlier in the day. Can he do it again here if he sees this? He sees it. Now what? The Kongs hop out. Can he damage control this? It's going to be really difficult. I don't think he really can. Gates are not going to protect you. The bombard cannons go down. The Cavalier are on the skirms. The skirms are actually focus firing down the conks, though, really nicely. It's so easy for your skirms to feel useless there. That was well played from Sitaux. He actually does have a bombard cannon back here, too. He still has the treb. But ACCM is just repairing. That's a lot of cav. But Halb upgrade's about to be in. There's now this gold for Sitaux, and he's got the stone. There's the damage control we're talking about. He loses his castle. Can he keep the treb alive? You got to keep the trebs and the bombard cannons alive. You have to. You have to. Remember, the conks are in there healing up. They can hop in at any time. Repair! Repair! Okay, cannon's alive. Conks might hop out to snipe it. Fletching on the castle could help here. Oh, man, that was so close. I think if Sitaux loses the cannons, it's game over. He's running out of golds. He's not on the other golds. He does have food and wood, though, to produce halbs and skirms. I think what we said is still true. The ACCM still has the hill, and he just needed to give himself time, and his position can only get stronger here. He can get better Conquistador upgrades. He can add his own bombard cannons. Maybe that's what he's missing now. Because he's lacking the cannons from the hill himself to flatten the skirms and flatten the bombard cannons. He just has to dive with the conks in his mind, but that's so risky. And Sitaux Sitaux loses one of the cannons. It wasn't a bad fight, actually, though. He killed a lot of the units there. Is chemistry in for ACCM? I don't think he would have gotten it. Yeah, he didn't get that or ballistics. That and even fletching for the castle would be so good. Sitaux does have this villager on gold. And, Cavalier raid. I don't know. Is this where you want your Cavalier? I'm sure you could maybe kill some villagers here. But if you don't have your Cavalier here anymore, maybe you have a problem. Look at that. Yeah, he pops out of the castle. That's his strat. But the bombard cannons will go in for that treb. Sitaux will take the trebuchet down. The Cavalier are through. Now, there's some holes here that Sitaux opened up so he could expand. He needs to wall that. He's not realizing. He will obviously send halbs home. And now the Conquistadors go forward. The distraction with the raids. And now the Conquistadors to snipe the cannons is the strategy. Damn, what a cool idea there from ACCM. It's risky, but he took down some of the bombard cannons. Can he do it again? He doesn't have that many Conquistadors. Sitau's still sending halbs back. Sitau's still keeping his army forward. Sitau's actually charging the castle. He's like, go ahead. I know where your army is. It's in that castle or it's in my base. If you hop out again, my skirms are ready for you. Actually, they're not. But they kind of were. Oh, God. He lost the cannons anyways. Oh, God. I don't know about that. Oh, God. It's still a castle. ACCM still gets what he wants. He still gets a good fight. His castle is still up. He did raid and send a lot of that military from Sitaux back home. And Sitaux is still running out of golds. Game's so close. But the raid killed a lot of villagers, and the bombard cannon died to the treb there as well. So many bombard cannons are going down for Sitaux. He cannot afford these losses. And more Cavalier now will come in if the gate goes down, and then this treb will follow. I think the treb will go down. He gets through. He backs up to the castle again. And for the first time, I'm actually becoming sure that ACCM is actually going to make this happen, guys. He's getting chemistry. He's getting the ranged upgrades. He's still kept that castle up. He's mixing in his own skirms. Soon it can be his own cannons. I mean, last chance for Sitaux. He can never lose another bombard cannon. He has to push this castle at all times. Halb skirm has that one more opportunity. There's still no stone being mined for Sitaux. Or sorry, for ACCM. So ACCM can't really repair that much. He dives with the Cavalier. And of course the Treb hits the cannon. Of course the Treb hits the cannon. Gut-wrenching for Sitaux. Of all the things for that trebuchet to hit, it somehow was like a homing missile. And it snipes the bombard cannon. And ACCM gets the job done. It was a brutal start for ACCM, right? All the tiny things went well for Sitaux. He was looking so confident. He knew it was going to be conks. He formulated his strategy to counter it. But he either lacked faith in his strategy when he switched into the crossbows and Castle Age, or he was just outplayed. Spanish are picked on this map for a reason, man. They have so many good options. The Conquistadors and the Cavalier were so good from ACCM. He just got so much value. Normally, you look at the KD and you're like, well, you know, but he killed, like, cheaper units. That's not really even true. Like, he killed a lot of bombard cannons and trebs this game. He almost ended up losing this castle. This castle here took, what, 20,000 damage. And that's what everyone gets excited about with ACCM gameplay. It's just a fight. And, you know, whether he's winning or losing, you know it's going to be an absolute dogfight. ACCM moves into the semis. I think it'll be very dangerous, guys. I think he's only getting stronger. I feel like every map that he plays, he's got a really good strategy on. And when I think about high-level AoE, I think being able to pull out wins when it gets really close and when it gets really awkward at times, it feels like ACCM's the player to bet on in those situations. So well played to him. Also, chat, if we could please salute now. An amazing series of Age of Empires. It feels bad that anyone has to lose that. Sometimes it's a 3-0 and you're like, well, you know, you feel bad for the loser because they got swept in the emotions of that, but like tiny differences. And Sitau's going to the semifinal. That's an amazing season for you, Sitaux, if you're listening. I hope you gain confidence from it. Still happy with the result. I think getting that close is definitely going to lead to a few nights of missed sleep for Sitaux. Great series, though. And well played. We're going to interview ACCM real quick. Let's hop in, talk to ACCM about the series. All right. I think we're connected. ACCM, congratulations. You're in the semifinals. How are you feeling, my friend?
I feel happy for sure, but was like I wasn't happy with my performance. Like I played so sloppy, too many mistakes, and Sitaux punished me hardly. So we played to him.
Well, at least you get to fix those mistakes, right? And you'll get to adjust those things for the semifinals. I wanted to ask you, last time you played Sitaux was in the playoffs of Titans League Season 4, where he beat you 3-0. Did you remember that before this series? Were you out for some revenge today?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Was there a certain game plan for you? You picked Zimbabwe and Toulouse, and I would not have expected you to pick two Stonewall maps. Was that because of Sitaux, or do you really like your closed maps?
Yeah, I feel it's like I got the information from his group stage, right?
Yeah.
He always ban closed map.
Yep.
And he just leave the water map open. I also think he's decent on waters, so maybe I don't want to pick water maps, and also the map with the good builders. He really good.
Yep.
So my plan was just go for the close one and play from there.
Okay, makes sense. Talk to me about Stranded. You picked Shu now twice in a row, and nobody else in group stage has done that. So, why Shu?
Oh my God, I still got the semifinal tomorrow, right?
Okay. Well, Shu, yeah, I agree. Shu are really bad. So
Yeah.
no, that's fine. It's tough. I have to ask questions, but also you don't want to share any information. So I'll keep it simple, ACCM. Obviously, the job's not done for you. You'll move on for the semifinal tomorrow, and you have to play the winner of Hera and Viper. So 2 questions there. First off, who do you think is the favorite between Hera and Viper? And then also, do you think you can beat either anybody left in this tournament and win season 5?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I think the favorite is Hera for sure. He's the damn godlike players. Like it's really hard to beat, but I'm gonna try my best.
Yep. Well, I mean, the preparation's clearly there. I wish you luck. I do have one final question. Someone asked me earlier, what does ACCM stand for? And I've known you for 10 plus years and I never knew. Does that stand for something? Why is your name ACCM?
It's just nothing. Like I make it because I want the English name, right? So I just put random, I think.
Okay, so no real reason. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, hey, sick. ACCM, I'm happy for you. Keep it up. It's a joy to watch. And best of luck tomorrow in the semifinals.
Thank you, Tinati.
All right. See you, bro.
I see you, bro.
I love ACCM, man. I love his mindset. Like, you notice 2 things here as we have the gifted subs from Baxter and Lodrog. Thank you so much, guys. Notice a couple things on that interview. First off, he's happy he won, but not really. He seemed disappointed, right? Would you agree? He's like, I won, but that's got to be better, right? I got to improve this. I got to improve that. He did credit Sitaux and said that Sitaux made it tough for him today, but he realized I can't be getting away with some of that stuff. So that's cool. That's like a real amazing mindset to have, and I think all the players at this level are going to have it. And then also I asked him, like, you're going to be facing the winner of Hera Viper. Can you beat everybody left in the tournament and be the champion? And he was like, why not? Right? And I love that mindset too, because I think there's a lot of people who would see the star power of the other names and maybe lack confidence and not have faith in their own abilities. But when you're making it to a semifinal, man, you've obviously got the skills it takes to beat everybody out there. So, yeah, I love ACCM. Mindset becomes a really important thing at this stage.